It's the Sunday service with Supertanskiii. Dystopia warning. Doobie-doobie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday service. I'm here joined tonight by the irrepressible, the irredeemable, the inimitable Graham Hughes. Woo!
Oh, I thought you were going to say, hey, Thompson. Hello, I'm Graham Hughes. How the devil are you? How's it going?
Right. I love your Aid Christmas tree.
Yeah, with my little angel on top, my little
He's the guy that's responsible for the low budget monstrosity that is my intro. It's so catchy.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Isn't it catchy? I find myself after I do the outro every week just going dooby-dooby-doo. Thank you everyone for your patience tonight. Poor Graham, bless him. He was having a bit of a Tony Blair with the stream key.
They've moved the stream key. They've hidden it. You used to be able to see it. It came up as like dots or stars, and you just press show stream key, and it was like a 16-letter number code, right? And they've hidden it. YouTube have gone, oh, let's put this somewhere else where they can't find it when they're in a hurry.
All I have heard for the last 10 minutes is a Scouser going, stream key.
Stream key. Where's the fucking stream key? Fucking what out? Where?
Honestly, he was trying to find it harder than a Scouser tries to find a car radio. I swear to God. I'm joking. Hashtag not all. You know, we're all in the struggle together.
Did you see the joke with the Scouser outside those lockers that you have outside the postal lockers that you have outside supermarkets?
Yeah.
Scouser outside one of them with a crowbar. It said Scouse Advent Calendar. Not funny. My
favourite one is the thing that I shared in the group, and I don't think that it got the comedy response it deserved, was how much Feliz Navidad sounds like police nabbed me dad.
Police nabbed me dad in a Scouse accent. I'm never going to be able to forget that now.
Absolutely fucking uncanny. But I was going to, before I start tonight, I've actually got a couple of supers early that I just want to say a quick hello to. So we've got Ivan Ambrose saying, hi Tam, did you see the debate put forward in Parliament by my MP, my Labour MP, on my autism campaign? I have not yet. But I will be sure to catch up on that. Have you seen it, Graham?
Yeah, I can give you the link. I put it in the Politics Social chat last week, but it probably got drowned out by Aid talking about his dad's bollocks, because that's what normally happens, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I can send you the link, and it's really cool. It's the Ipswich MP standing up and saying, as a result of my constituents' tireless campaigning over the last 5 years, it's been brought to our attention that autistic people were treated like absolute shit during the pandemic. And if there are any future pandemics, their needs will be taken into account. So fantastic stuff. Well done, Ivan.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. I'm very sorry just now. I'm getting distracted by the fact that my internet has gone extremely slow.
I know, but I can still hear you. You're just running at one frame a second.
What the fuck? I mean, that's really massively distracting, man. I don't know why it's is it all
you need to stop
right
illegally downloading the latest episode of I'm a Celebrity.
I would actually sooner, I'm just shutting a few things, won't be a second. I would actually
Shut that door.
Rip my own eyes out than watch I'm a Celebrity get me on.
That's why I said it.
I don't think that's improving anything. Oh my God, I don't know what to do here, Graham.
Am I still smooth for you when I'm waving?
Yeah. And we've only just begun, as the Carpenters once sang.
Maybe shut down my feed. No, you can't. Oh, can you?
Oh my God. Bear with me just a second, lads.
Okay.
I'm just going to try and sort this out. I'm just shutting absolutely everything that I have open in a vain attempt.
I can knock my video off for a moment, see if that works. You know what I look like, don't you?
Yeah, but I can't actually see myself once you do that, so it's
put self view back on.
Oh, of course, yeah. Fuck's sake. Right, sorry guys.
Hey, Technan.
It's all fun and games, isn't it?
Until you press go live, and then everything fucks up.
I don't. Oh my God, I don't even know how to see myself again now.
While you're doing that, do you want me to read out the super chats?
Please do.
Okay,
Thank you.
next up we've got Urine Infectinov. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Graham's hat is more famous than Jamiroquai. Yes, damn right. It should be more famous than Jamiroquai. Privately educated, of course. Flint Reed UK. Thank you very much for the €10. Good eventide, dear lady. And of course, Graham. Hello. Has he told you how many countries he's been to yet?
No, he likes to keep that quiet. I mean, he rarely ever mentions where he's been or the fact that he's got an island, which is really disappointing to me. I'd much
What, the
prefer
island is disappointing, or the fact that I don't mention it enough?
the fact that you never ever mention it. Now, to be honest with you, most of us mention it when razzing you whenever a kind of like dodgy billionaire issue comes up. We're like, oh,
Dodgy billionaire.
you know what they say about those lads with islands.
Yes.
I don't think that I'm going to be able to, and I'm so sorry to the guys that I've missed the chats of, but I don't know whether or not we can do this whilst live, but I don't know whether or not I need to come back in and out again because something's very badly.
If you just go out and then shut everything else down apart from Skype and come back in again.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm so sorry, guys.
I can man the fort while you're away. I can person the fort.
So I just go back onto the stream again, yeah? It won't be a second. But I'll be back very soon. Hopefully it'll be better. Won't be a sec. Bye.
It's going to be Graham and a blank screen now. Oh, it says Graham. That's because that's supposed to be showing me there now. I could change the name to Tan. That'll be really confusing though, because Tan will come back on and go, why have you changed your name to me, you massive weirdo? Okay, so what else have we got in the super chat fund? We got Graham Haller with the £5 super chat. Anyone else seen the rumour that Eric Kirk is with child, but in the time frame, Charlie is not the father? Ooh, scandal. Well, it was only 2 months ago, wasn't it? It was only 2 months ago he got taken. Was it 2 months ago? It's 3 months ago now, wasn't it? Ooh. It'd be interesting. And then Mr. Hammond, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. A small contribution to the new laptop fund. Thank you. Thank you very much to Mr. Hammond for a new laptop for Tan. And Mike Dix gives £2 if Graham doesn't mention his travels. I definitely won't mention my travels or my private island in the whole length of this excursion. Oh, I just mentioned them, didn't I? Shit. And Flint Reed says that this we've got you got this, Tech Nan. We believe in you. Thank you. I'll let Tan know when she comes back. And Sphere Lance says Graham's hat was privately educated. Yeah, of course. All the best hats go to private school, and they'll get wanked into because it's a game called Tugging Hat. You know that's where Tom Tugging Hat gets his name. It's a game they play in private schools, in like public boarding schools, where all the boys have to stand around in a circle and wank into a hat. And the person to come last, literally, has to wear the hat for the rest of the day. Explains that, that Brillo cream look that they have in private schools, where it's all like slicked down. It's like a proper side parting in it. Yeah. Now you're never going to see any toff with that, a blonde, tall toff with that particular haircut. You know who I'm thinking of right now, because there's a generic toff, isn't there, in your head? That's what's going on there. He's lost the game with Tugging Hat. Richard, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Two of my favourite humans. Well, Richard is just one of me at the moment. We're just waiting for Tan to sort out her shit, get her shit together, put it in a backpack, put it in a museum if she has to. What's this? Cheers, Graham. That's put me right off my custard. Oh, I'm so sorry, Yuri. What are you doing eating custard while watching this show? That's dangerous business, my friends. Dangerous business. So, tonight, let's see what we were supposed to be talking about, because we did have a conversation about this before we started. We're a little tiny bit organised for two people who are rampantly ADHD. We were going to talk about the removal of livable benefits and the lack of ability to be part of the culture of our country if you're not born rich, and how this, that Martin Parr died this week, and he was a photographer who took pictures of ordinary people, not the celebs on the red carpets, But we were going to talk about how the cunty rich, Tan's words, not mine, dominate the art stroke TV spaces. And I don't know if the people watching this, if you've ever seen my channel, Politics Social, but I do mention this a lot. Only 8% of people working in film and TV in the UK have come from a working class background. That's awful. That is just that's mind blowing. It's absolutely mind blowing, and it is a huge barrier if you have a regional accent, if you didn't go to a posh school, if you don't know the right people, to getting anywhere, getting an agent so you can go to auditions, or being able to go to auditions just full stop if you're trying to be an actor. Good luck living in London for 2 years with no means of income. You have to work every hour God sends if you want to just get anywhere in London at the best of times. And to have a job where you could just go, I can't come in on Tuesday, I've got an audition. It's not going to fly for most of those low paid jobs that people like us can get. And so this is why, or even like a mid-level job, you can't just say, oh, I'm not going to be in next week. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to go for an audition. But if you come for money, of course, your Uncle Monty of Moneybags can sort you out for a few months, can't he? While you go for auditions. And this is why there is a disproportionate amount of people in the UK writing movies, directing movies, starring in movies. And we find that time and time again, the movies that we watch are about rich people. Think about this for a moment. Like, how many films have you watched, like British films, right, where it's all about rich people? And we get like one film every few years, like The Full Monty or Billy Elliot, where it's actually people who aren't posh. But if you think about Four Weddings, Notting Hill, Love Actually, everyone in Love Actually is incredibly posh. They are incredibly posh people. There's posh people having their incredibly posh love lives. Money is no object to these people. And then you have our sporting prowess as well. And it's great that we have these fantastic sportsmen and women who are really good at what they do, and they are really good at what they do. Lando Norris won the World Championships for the World Championship for the Grand Prix, the Formula One Grand Prix today in Abu Dhabi, and that's wonderful. And I wish him and his family all the best. And it's great. I think he's like the 24th Brit. No, it can't be that many. The Brits have won the champion. The Brits have won the championship for the Grand Prix, the World Championship. They've won it more than any other country by like a mile. Yeah, at the same time, I can't kick the knowledge that this guy went to he had a very privileged background. Went to a private school, of course he did. Because how else do you get to drive karts and get involved in Formula One, which is a sport for rich people who get to travel around the world and go to the casinos of Monaco and go to, I don't know, over to Australia and they follow the Grand Prix. You've got to be moneybags to be able to do that. I'm going to just check if Tan's texted me to say, what's going on? Maybe she's reset her computer. What's happening? What's happening, yo? Oh, hang on. What's this? I think she's back. She's back from outer space. Hello.
It is so bad. I've tried like setting up and shutting down my computer about 3 times, but even in the little preview that you get, it is fucked. So I'm going to do my best to persevere.
It's better than it was. It's better than it was. You're just on a slow frame race. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's stressing me the fuck out.
Should I bring you up to speed about what I've been yabberting on about?
Yes, because and thank you for holding the fort whilst I've found it almost impossible to even see anything. But yeah, carry on.
Okay, so do you want me to let me know if this makes? I'll send you the video so you can see what's happening. Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so that slows you down loads. I'll turn it off. There you go.
I think that's the problem. If we can just go back to how we were before, where it was just the two of us, without seeing it. Yeah, that I mean, look, it's still like,
it's okay. It's okay. Do you know what the main thing is, though? The audio's fine. The audio is fine. So we can hear what you're saying. If it was breaking up, if the audio was breaking up, I'd be like, we got to rethink this. But so what I was talking about is the fact that, because I was trying to bring it to be quite timely, because today Lando Norris won the Formula One championships, right? He's the 11th British guy to do it. And that's nice, and I'm really happy for him. But at the same time, I know that he went to a posh private school. Now, I know Lewis Hamilton, I think he went to state school. But if you're going to go into a profession like Formula One, you generally come from money. And this means there are very few working class people who actually make it as drivers in Formula One. Very few working class people make it in other sports in that we are very good at, like cycling. You need very, very expensive bikes. So most British cyclists who have won medals in the last few years are incredibly posh. Anyone who gets to do rowing, anyone who gets to do sailing, like it's not just that you don't get too many people getting a gold for yachting from Ghana, but you also don't get too many people getting a gold for yachting in the Olympics who grew up in Rochdale or Bootle or somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been thinking about this loads today, mostly because Martin Parr, the esteemed photographer, and I think he was kind of quite middle class though. But I was thinking about his work that he did, especially in kind of like New Brighton, and broadly about culture generally, about how the way that he kind of like never punched down with his work. It was always very observational. He denied it was political, but I saw the politics in it, as I do everything, because everything's fucking political, as Skunk and Nancy said. But yeah, it's been weighing on my mind about how we used to have a kind of the closest that working class people or poor people ever got to kind of some form of like an apprenticeship or a trust fund was the dole. And they've kind of whittled it down to a point where, not saying that, everyone should rely on the welfare state, but it was a leg up into people being able to think about what they want to achieve in the same way that a kind of UBI would be,
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about the erosion of that and how you and I have spoken about this loads of times, the kind of Mumford and Sons itis of music, and how only kind of like privately educated rich people were on the telly and given all these travel shows, which I know that you would relate to massively whenever you get your 1p royalties, if that, from the BBC or wherever you get it from.
They're charging me money now. I'm in debt to the BBC apparently for making a TV show for them.
That is unbelievable. But yeah, it's made me think about it all more broadly in the bigger sense of things, because we just don't have the kind of, we have a more disparate sense of culture nowadays, don't we? We don't have the kind of things that everyone used to collectively tune in for. Like you look at things that were like Brookside, like the Word or TFI Fridays or even Top of the Pops, right? There was like, it'd be so weird. You'd be sitting there with your nan and 1 minute a techno tune would be on, and then the next minute there would be like a shoegaze song on, and then the next minute there would be just like some mad bloke in a costume dancing around. And it was a sense of kind of like, there was a shared experience when it came to culture, wasn't there? Even if it wasn't something you were normally into.
My dad got really angry during Top of the Pops. He'd be like, "Oh, bloody, there's headbanging music. Oh, sounds like they're putting up a shed. Sounds like they're putting up a shed. Just bang, 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 bang." He got very upset about it.
What's it gonna look like with a chimney? But I'm not saying it in a kind of like, oh, well, nostalgia's not what it used to be kind of way. I'm saying it in a kind of, we miss out on that shared sense of kind of culture and togetherness, and I think that cuts through the whole realization in people that there's more that we have in common that divides us, or at least there should be. And we're getting ever more divided and separate and just staring at phones and losing that kind of collective experience, even if it's just going to the pub, because either the pub's closed down, and I know the Tories are trying to push that all onto Labour in the last 18 months. I mean, they might not be helping, but that was in sharp decline during the Conservative government. And we're losing out on a sense of togetherness broadly, broadly. And class, of course, plays into all of this now, because it's only the rich that can afford to have the luxury of figuring it out. And just think of all the wasted bands and artists that we are losing out on, because people can't even, they're having to work in a fucking factory, and they're trying to keep the lights on. And if they had a bit of leeway to figure out what it is that they want to do with their lives, they might be making some of the best albums.
Even bands are making fuck all right now. The guys from Ash were saying to me that if it wasn't, if there were more than 3 of them in the band, they wouldn't be able to afford to tour. Having that one extra person, they just couldn't do it. They couldn't.
Look at Kate Nash.
Yeah.
Kate Nash having to do bloody OnlyFans in order to pay for her pay. What was it? She was paying for her album to be put out.
Paying for a tour, because she
Tour,
wants
it
to
was her
pay
tour.
all the people working on her tour the right amount for the amount of work that she's doing. She didn't want to pay them minimum wage, and just the maths is not mathsing. That doesn't work, does it? Hey, we got another super chat from Urine Infectinov. Shall I read this out, or do you want to read it?
No, I'll do it because I can see it on my phone. Technan's putting her virtual glasses on. Hello, Yuri. Sorry about earlier, and sorry to everyone else for earlier as well. Having to get this bloody wanker to read out my super chats. This lovely, lovely wanker who's holding the fort, I must say. Yuri, it's slower than a ZX81 attached to an acoustic coupler, showing my age again. Well, thank you for that very niche bit of tech info, Yuri. I have to say I massively appreciate it. Also massively appreciate, just going to do a very quick thank you to Richard Marsden, to Sphere Lance, to Flint Reed UK, Mike Dix, Sexy Santa's in the chat.
Yeah, Sexy Santa.
Mr. What was you saying about Father Christmas the other day? Daddy Christmas.
Daddy Christmas for the permanently kinky.
And I could hear Scott's ears pricking up in Spain.
Daddy Christmas.
He could hear it echoing across through the pipes. Pipes is in the glory hole moment there for Scott. But no, seriously, yeah, it's been a nightmare this evening. So thank you for everyone that's kind of holding your attention, and I think I'm getting a little bit better, aren't I? As we go on?
I think you are. We're getting some movement. You've been oiled up like the Tin Man.
Oh, I could only dream of being oiled up, mate.
Oh yeah, I didn't quite mean it that way. Oh God, here we go.
I want for Christmas.
Stephen Merriman's dropped a chat in as well.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Stephen always offers very insightful messages. You all do, apart from Yuri when he's razzing me. I wrote a story exposing nepotism in local co-op.
Co-op?
What, mate? That's a very unusual place to write a story and expose anything.
All those co-op nepo babies, yeah.
Well, of all the places to expose nepotism. Your local co-op.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, that. We're going to need a
little bit more detail on that, I think. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah. But yeah, I was going to say, because there's cricket is on at the moment as well. The Ashes are on, which was, it's a tournament between England and Australia, like dates back to the Victorian age. And some Victorian cricketers from Australia, they burned some bales, and then they said, this is the death of English cricket because you're really bad at cricket. Anyway, the English star batsman is a guy called Joe Root. You'll never guess where he went to school, Dan.
Oh, don't tell me. Is he on your shit list, Graham?
He's on my shit list. It's not a shit list. There's so many good people on that list, but I see time and time again, like, it's just these rich kids talking to each other. And that's our media right now. And what I was going into just before you came back was the fact that so many movies are made by posh people. So we get these either movies about rich people. So whether it's a period drama about rich people in the past, or, a film like Four Weddings and a Funeral, which is about rich people now, or Bridget Jones, where everyone's dead rich and they all live in London and, they don't have to worry about finances. Or occasionally you get like a Full Monty or a, Billy Elliot or Shirley Valentine or something.
Kinky
Boots. Working class story. Yeah, Kinky Boots. Yeah. Little Voice, something like that. But a lot of time, if you get those kitchen sink dramas, they're made by a posh person who hasn't got a fucking clue. And there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of a magical realism in working class stories that never get out there. They never get to be told. Because you can tell someone who's very posh has gone in to someone else who's very posh and said, I've got a great idea for a film. It's about a woman who gets beaten up by a man and then she cries herself to death. And they're like, fuck yeah, let's make that into a movie. People will, and they'll go, I can get 2 million off the national lottery. Because all the people who play the national lottery would love to watch a movie where that happens.
Yeah. They're literally giving a couple of quid, or I think online nowadays it's a £10 minimum to play the national lottery.
What?
That's the least that you have to sign up for. Because every now and then I get a kind of like feeling. I get a feeling. I'm like, right, because I don't think
tonight's going to be a good night.
I gotta feel. That's a terrible song. But I was thinking, like, I'll sit there and I'll think, do you know what? Because, like, I don't think I'm going to win it. I'm probably going to win it. And then I will be like, oh, fucking hell, crushingly disappointed and won't play it again. But those people that are putting in their money in a desperate attempt to win something are often like some of the most desperate people ever. I mean, gambling targets the most desperate people in society and sells them the dream and the con of luck.
Yeah.
Much in the same way.
Paying for opera houses and posh films that don't make any money back at the box office, and paying for velodromes that they're never going to be able to cycle around because they can't afford the bicycles.
And places that they'll never set foot in because those places are made to feel like they're not for them, or they're priced out of them.
We got a bunch of super chats, by the way.
Oh
Tim.
Shit! Okay, sorry guys.
It's looking like a multicolored rainbow of love on the side of the screen.
Well, wouldn't you? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I've got to because I don't know if you've liked them or
You're
not.
up to Flint Reed UK. Is
Flint Reed okay?
Number one? Who's number one at the moment? He's got a little crown and everything.
I can see. Hang on a minute.
You got four.
Here we go. If you could do me a favour and not like them, my love, just so that I know where I am, because I'm doing it on my phone. But thank you for doing it anyway. Lubed up Technan for the win, says Flint Reed UK. Right, I'm definitely going to do that only, Tans. Definitely. I think I will be quizzing.
Oh, call it Lubed Up Technan.
Lubed up Technan.
LubedUpTechnan.com.
Guys, if you sign up to OnlyFans, search for Lubed Up Technan, and you will see what you see. I'm not going to take any, I'm not gonna make any promises I can't keep tonight. Urine Infectinov, thank you very much. Moi, Raz, you, oh Lady Tan, I resemble that remark. You meant resent. Now I get to razz you back. But thank you dearly, dear Yuri. F. Menditabeyers, thank you for the 129 sex.
Swedish kronas.
Oh my God. This is
kronas.
It's all going wrong tonight. Kieran Croissant, thank you also for the super. Snooker is the last working class sport, says Kieran.
Darts. You could argue darts. That's still pretty working class. Football.
In Essex, we call darts arrows.
Do you?
Playing arrows. Like arrows. Arrows.
Arrows.
Arrows.
But why do they go after footballers in the press more than any other rich person? Possibly because a lot of footballers come from a working class background. It's like, how dare they be spending this money on this? They never get all pearl clutchy, do they, about like some rich person spending money on a fucking gong or something? Spending money on some disgusting golden idol. But when it comes to footballers, it's always like this judgment call. Like, how dare they spend it? They spent this money on this car. They spent this money on this house. It's not
the same as, say, like a cricketer or a rugby player. Definitely not. Because if you look at people like Beckham, I know an awful amount about Beckham because he was one of my sexual awakenings, and the other was George of the Jungle.
Sorry,
the other was George of the Jungle, the actual like Brendan Fraser, obviously not the. I thought
you were going to say Weird Al Yankovic then, which would have been wonderful, but okay.
Oh, obviously.
I'll take George of the Jungle.
But I was obviously massively into Man United, and I'll never forget when he scored from the centre line. But when I watched the documentary about him, I knew that he grew up in Leytonstone, was broke, but he was also worked half to death by his own dad to become like a child prodigy of football. Which was pretty brutal. Like, he was forced to just repeatedly do the same thing over and over again. But you do get more of that. But also, I don't know if no, it is still working class, isn't it? Because they've poured quite a lot of money into grassroots football.
Yes, they have. There's an academy in Liverpool, and they go round the kids who are good at playing football at a young age. They'll take them and they go to a special school. It is technically private, but it's paid for by Liverpool Football Club. It's not like the parents have to pay for it. So you get lads, just usual state school lads who are good at football, and they go through this whole system. Which is great for them, obviously. And there's also There's the Brit School down in the south. There's also Lipper in Liverpool that do a lot of scholarships for kids who are talented at singing or dancing or acting, and they do help people get up. But at the same time, a lot of the kids who go to not the Brit School, but Lipper in Liverpool, the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, or Paul McCartney's Fame School, there are a lot of kids who go there whose parents pay for them to go there. So
well, this is the thing. There's also the element of knowing what you want and confidence that comes with having a comfortable upbringing. As someone that didn't have that, I understand how aimless and how braced for survival you are growing up.
Yeah.
So you're basically, if you don't even have, like, for example, you're going to do worse in your exams if you don't, like I didn't, even have a fucking desk to work at and do your homework at, let alone being undiagnosed ADHD. And my little brother, he was brilliant. Like, he could have definitely been, I think, he was semi-scouted when he was younger. I reckon that he could have been a pro footballer. Like, but my parents didn't have the money necessarily to take him to all of the thing, or even to pay his subs, at times. So he missed out on that, and we didn't have that route in when he was very young. But Dave had this ability to just pick up things. Like, he'd pick up a yo-yo, and within a day he would be able to do mad tricks. And the same with football, brilliant at football. But he didn't have necessarily the encouragement or the financial means at home, and he didn't have, without that support and that push, and parents that recognise, because we were born to teen parents that recognise how important it is to cultivate that in you, let alone having all the other aspects, you're going to grow up with a kind of limited sense of self-confidence, because you also get horrendously bullied if you're not rich, especially where we grew up. We grew up in quite an affluent area, in the kind of only poor bit. So you get all of that extra kind of confidence chips and such. So the disadvantage isn't just monetary when it comes to starting off. There's also the fact that you just don't feel like you are good enough. And it's really hard to shake that off, especially if you have an additional thing like neurodiversity of some, or you're neurodivergent, or
an imposter syndromes,
then you get the rejection sensitive element where you're like, even the slightest knock's going to hit you harder. So some people have the odds just stacked against them massively, but the kind of, people call it a chip on your shoulder because you're standing up for yourself.
Politics of envy.
That fucks me off so, but I could punch someone in the face for saying that. I really could. It makes me so angry when people say that, because they lack the basic knowledge of what it's like to grow up, choosing between heating or eating. And it's also a distinct unawareness of their own privilege, their own immense privilege of just having things taken care of for them. Unbelievable. Sorry, I've got a super chat here from Stephen Merriman. I don't think I've missed anyone out.
You got two from Stephen.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephen. It's always nice to see a euro in the chat, I find. It was Mark Paish. He gave Linda a till job, then her cousin got to work in the warehouse and they all went to Childbury Comprehensive. I exposed it. We've got like the Stephen Merriman mysteries going on here. This is Stephen's story so far, is that he exposed these people in the co-op. I'm just glad you didn't expose yourself in the co-op.
This is like Jack Black in the Viz. He solves the mystery.
It is.
The old lady who works at the post office.
And I'm not razzing you, man. Like, if you have exposed like
take him away.
if you've exposed there's a sincere situation of nepotism here, then brilliant. But I don't think that nepotism really works. I think he's taking the piss because he's talking about being given a Linda. Yeah. I've only just twigged it. I'm still calming down from being overheated and stressed out earlier. The next comment, Stephen, massively agree with. Thank you again. Public school is a form of apartheid. Ban it.
Yes, it is. It is. And it's about as separate and equal, which is what apartheid is supposed to mean, as apartheid. It wasn't equal at all. It was just separate. It was just separating people based on the colour of their skin. And this is separating people on the wealth of their parents. And people go into that bubble, that rarefied bubble of public school life, and they never ever mingle with people like you and me, or heaven forfend the working class people in my family. You know, they'll never hang out with us. They might go to a football match, you know, to give it all that, whatever. But they all marry each other. You know, the guy from Mumford and Sons, he's married to Carey Mulligan. He was in a movie. He was made by someone she went to school with and written by someone that she. It's all, you know. And I'm not saying these people aren't talented. I always get this. If you go, oh, God, Graham, you're going on about these actors like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a great actor. He is a great actor, and he's a lovely guy. But he had advantages that the rest of us don't get. And if it's just a few of them, okay. But if I can make a list of 1,300 people who are all like household names on the private school mafia list, that's not right. There's something that's broken there in society that it is, you know, instead of it being 7% of the given people in any given profession, it's 93%. We've had in the chat, though, people saying about boxing being a working class sport, which I would agree with as well.
Yeah.
And skateboarding is working class. Yeah, I'll agree with that. And breakdancing. But yeah.
Anything that you don't really have to pay to do, really, or get good at. Because I suppose you can get good at all these different sports. You don't have to, I mean, you can start off practicing and just doing it yourself, like something like inline skating. All you need is a pair of skates. But something like ice skating, you're going to have to pay to do that. But yeah, with the apartheid, I agree. It's like social and class-based segregation, really.
Yes, it is.
And there was an interesting thing about this the other day because there was the whole Zach Polanski interview and the Rory Bremner.
Almost.
Could you imagine?
I reckon Rory Bremner could do a good impression of Rory Stewart, though.
I reckon he could do a banging impression of Rory Stewart. But Gary's
when
economics.
I was living with the tree people of South Macedonia, and we were just eating insects all day and all night. And anyway, who came in but Peter Mandelson? And you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Rory Stewart?
We were in the bush of not the bush. We're in the desert of Afghanistan. But no, he got into a bit of hot water because Zach Polanski quoted Gary's economics as someone that he is referring to in terms of like economic ideas for things like wealth taxes, etc. And Rory Stewart was really quite classist and
he was really twatty.
snobby.
And he was like, he's only got an undergraduate degree at some university. He's got a postgraduate degree
At
from
your alma mater.
University of fucking Oxford.
Where you went, mate. And he did it out of grit and determination. But I you know, he did apologise. Like, he put it up on Twitter. Gary's Economics said, look, it's from your own alma mater, mate. I've actually got this, and this. And he held his hands up to his credit, which is the bare minimum. But, you know, it's a big thing nowadays. And he said, look, I'm really sorry. Like, I shouldn't have done it. And I said, you know, fair enough. Good apology. But can we stop this kind of assumption that if someone's got a working class accent, that they're uneducated, please? Because it's almost like an unconscious class bias.
No, but it is. If I came on the plane speaking in my normal Scouse, right, twang, I sound posh in Liverpool, you know. When I'm in Liverpool,
Really?
people are like, where are you from? And I'm like, West Derby. And like, no, where are you really from? I'm like, I'm really from West Derby. And they're like, yeah, but where did you grow up? I'm like, here, in Liverpool, here, in this city. And they're like, well, you know. Anyway, but yeah, if you've got a bit of, if the voice comes over when you're about to, you know, land the plane and it's the captain speaking, he's like, all right, lads, how's it going in the back there? You all right? We're going down. We've got to go right down. We're going to hit the ground. Hopefully not too fast, like,
Yeah.
You'd shit your pants. That's why they all have to talk that way, the way that pilots talk. Another job that you can only get if you're really posh as well, because you can't afford flying lessons unless you're dead posh.
Well, this is the thing. And also, yeah, but then again, like, I know it's worse for Northerners, but if you had a bloke come over the town and go, all right, mate, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go and speed it into Heathrow. You know, people just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're all going to die.
Yeah,
It's
they've
like
got to
that white
talk
coat-
in the very posh voices.
It's like white coat syndrome, almost, like that whole weird thing that and I think this is a massive problem that we have, where it's kind of this pain kink that we've got for letting rich fuckers destroy our lives and thinking that they're somehow the voice of reason simply on account of them being rich, and that kind of capped offing automatically better than us. They're our betters, we're the lowers, and that's all obviously upheld by the very notion of having a monarchy, because
Yeah.
that's automatic hierarchy.
Yeah.
So for them to be at that elevated status, the rest of us have got to be like the
I-
little fucking peasants in the ground. Like,
I have a question. If Banksy is the person that everyone thinks is Banksy, he went to private school. He went to like the choral school of Bristol or something, right? Do you think that if Banksy was a black kid from Brixton, he'll be the most popular artist in the world right now, or do you think he'll be in jail?
oh, that's a tricky question, isn't it? I mean, I lean obviously automatically towards the latter on account of how people are treated of colour, and especially people from Brixton of colour. But it's very difficult to apply that to Banksy because he's always been anonymous and people don't really know who he is. If it was someone that was later kind of like like the end of Scooby-Doo, the mask comes off, he would be more likely, I think, if that did happen and he was a black kid from down south, from like Lewisham, he would be more likely to be ostracized rather than appreciated for that epic shredding stunt that he pulled off.
I'm not
But
saying Banksy's a bad guy. You know, I love his stuff. I absolutely love it. Dismal Land was fucking genius.
fucking love
But
that.
if he is Robin Gunningham, which is a lot of people say that he
Don't
is.
out him, man. I mean, not even I knew that.
This is not. This is kind of.
I didn't know
knowledge.
that.
Yeah.
It's not my
That's
my
posh kid.
common knowledge.
Oh, well, let's talk about Ali G then. Ali G.
I've
Sacha
got a
Baron Cohen
super.
went to a posh school. Go on.
Sorry,
Sorry,
I've
go
got
on.
a soup. I've got a soups. I'm so sorry. I was interrupting you at completely the wrong time there.
It's okay.
I do want to talk about Sash though. Ivan Ambrose, thank you very much for the super. Sports has never been my thing, but when is football going to catch up with other sports like rugby and cricket? I mean, in relation to LGBTQ plus players, football needs to catch up. Yeah, there, and I think a lot of that relates to kind of like the toxic aspects of masculinity. Rugby is the same. No. That's rugby's not the same, and rugby's more of a contact sport. I mean, I know that a lot of people in football like to roll around and think that they're really sore when they've just got a clip, but no, I think that it's actually patronizing towards their own audiences, because I think that if players did come out in football, they would be broadly accepted. I think in a way that people are looking down upon the class of people that watch football and assuming that they're going to be bigoted. And I know that football doesn't have a great history, especially when it comes to, being recruited to the far right. And I myself am scared nowadays to watch football in pubs because I've got sexually harassed every time I've watched football in the pub. Pretty much every single time. Get your tits out for the lads is a phrase that I've heard more times than I ever should have in my life. And I've loved football since I was a little girl, tiny, and I know about it. I follow all of like the World Cup, etc. So there are problems like that in it, but I also think that, well, maybe not right now, actually, considering the vulnerable communities, especially the trans community, but increasingly the gay community, that are having their rights rescinded and leapt upon by these fucking culture wars. But yeah, I think it should catch up, but I think a lot of it also comes down to the assumption of the fan base. And also, if that does exist there, a lot of that's to do with how people express what is its base inherent misogyny, because misogyny is the gatekeeper for homophobia, and vice versa, because they tend to hate gay men because they occasionally exude feminine traits. So it's a whole mess of things, but I don't think it would be as big a deal as people assume it would be, really, if I'm honest with you, because everyone nowadays, most people have friends that are gay, and it's not a big deal. But then the far
But
right's creeping in, isn't it? So it's
what's
hard to.
weird about professional football, like in this country, I think in the Premiership, I don't think there's one out gay footballer, which is insane. Like
It is
there's
insane.
hundreds of footballers who are in the squads for the 20 teams in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Like, how can not one of them be gay? But then in the women's league, there's loads of there's loads of lesbians in the women's league. It's great.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
Gay people are more represented than in the general population in the women's league, but in the men's
But look
league,
at that. But
nothing.
look at that. The people that you don't get any trouble with women's games because it's guys taking their daughters and it's families and it's women.
Yeah.
So you don't get the violence that is unfortunately inherently attached to groups of men. I mean, 90+% of all violent and sexual crime globally, men. So you don't have that machismo, you don't have the misogyny in the fan base that you might have in the male base. So it's probably a lot safer for the women. And then there's also the difference of how lesbians and gay men have been treated historically too. Like lesbians weren't told in the 80s that they shouldn't be allowed to teach kids on account of their sexuality, which we're sadly seeing rolling back with that being inflicted on gay people and trans people now. So I think it definitely comes down to the kind of like toxic masculinity aspect of it all. Sorry, I've got another one here, another super chat. George only. Politics of envy. I hate that too. Yes, mate. It enrages me. It makes my blood boil hearing that phrase. And you're an Infectanov. Thank you again. I got called posh and I'm from bloody Stevenage. I get called posh all the time because I don't talk like a sub. I don't talk like Wayne.
Fucking Wayne. He sounds like Benny Butcher from The Boys. Fucking fucking all have it.
You
thing is, even when Wayne's not being aggressive, he sounds aggressive. And when he is being aggressive, or you know, he's like saying things with affection, and it sounds like he's gonna come round and beat us all up. I've got to fucking put one in you. Fucking
he's
hell,
got lockstock. He's got lockstock vibes about him, hasn't he? You expect him to turn up in a flat cap and a tweed jacket or something, but not in a posh way. Definitely not in a posh way. Not Barber. Richard Marsden, thank you, dear. Hello, nice to see you. I'm dead posh. I pee the bath. Super posh. Shits in the bath. What? What?
But if you're very posh, you shit in the bath.
Well, I have to admit, like I grew up amongst, sadly, quite a lot of rich people, and I can't say that I've ever heard of shitting in the bath being a phenomenon. I mean, they are broadly twats, but I've never heard that. Graham Haller. Thank you also, my dear. Regular soldiers refer to Sandhurst as the Rupert factory. Regional accents are suppressed, so everyone sounds like they come from Surrey.
Sorry. It's very true. Rupert is an insult in the army to mean someone who's like posh and stupid, essentially.
Bloody hell.
Don't
I mean,
he's a proper Rupert.
That is intense. I've never heard of that. But then that also applies to regional accents being suppressed. And I talked at length, or at least Terry Christian talked at length to me about this, about how regional accents were suppressed and like
you just sat there and nodded, didn't you, for like an hour?
I'll tell you what though, like the many I cherish the anecdotes of Terry though, like because you get a whole like you get his autobiography whether you want it or not. But luckily I did want it. So, but no, he was talking about how regional accents were like suppressed and like how he was treated having a Mancunian accent on television, early on, and how and when you think about it, how many newscasters do you hear that sound like you or Wayne, or you know, that are Mancunian?
It's not just us. How many trans people do you see on TV? When there was one trans person on Only Connect with Victoria Corrin, who went to private school.
Christ! Don't get
there
me
was
started on
there was
that.
that privately educated guy who wrote Father Ted, that knobhead. He went off on one about there just being a trans person on TV, like not doing anything, not like committing a crime or going to the wrong toilet or indoctrinating our youth into becoming trans themselves or whatever magical crazy thinking they adapt to. No, they were just a trans woman on TV. That was it, and he went fucking bananas. And Victoria Corrin wrote back to him going, "Are you all right, mate? Are you all right? Because you seem a bit obsessed. You fucking weirdo. No wonder your wife and kids left you."
and that you'll hopefully, ideally, perish alone in a bedsit, you twat. But no,
Having
it's I
shat and
can't
pissed
stand him.
himself.
I can't stand him. And do you know what it reminds me of? And it's exactly the same thing in my mind, except obviously both have their challenges, but both are vulnerable, persecuted communities. When I was younger, a friend of mine had a friend that was South African who used to make a point of pointing every time he saw a black person, pointing at them and pointing them out and saying a really offensive South African term for black people, which I'm not going to repeat. But he would say it,
Fuck.
and he would make a point of pointing them out and doing it, and that's exactly in the trans variety of what I see in Glinner. It's like, mate, these people exist whether you do this or not. It's an innate form of bigotry. What you're doing is innately bigoted. You are singling out people and making a point. Why are you so obsessed? What's your because none trust me, loads of women don't want you trying to talk on our behalf. We decide who the threat is, and the threat is and always has been men like you, cis men, have always been the problem, not trans women.
Yep.
Never. I've never, ever in my life been threatened by or scared of a trans woman, ever. In fact, if I was walking home late at night and there was a trans woman also walking home late at night, we would be in the same boat.
Yeah.
We would
Well,
be in the same boat together.
Can I ask a question? If you were assaulted by a trans woman, would that give you the right to hate on all trans women for the rest of your life and just go, oh, they're all the same? Because that's what people do.
No, of course not.
That's what
No,
people
of
do.
course
They
not.
go, oh, I know someone, friend of a friend always, isn't it, who was assaulted by a trans woman. And that's why I hate all trans. And if you just switch out the word trans woman to any other minority, it sounds fucking grotesque. Absolutely grotesque.
Because it is grotesque. Like, honestly, I can say this hand on heart. I've never, ever met another woman that has been attacked by a trans woman. Ever. Ever. For example, another aspect of this, which totally is at odds with the far right narrative, I've never been attacked by a man of colour. In fact, I have the male the male commentators that I see speak up the most in defence of women's rights are male commentators of colour. They're the ones who, because they know what it's like. They know what it's like to be hated for a characteristic that you had no choosing of. They know precisely what it's like.
This isn't to say there are no crimes committed by trans people, no crimes committed by black people.
No,
of course
not,
there are. But our point is,
are.
they're not particularly disproportionate. But even if they were true, even if the maddest fucking shit that this knobhead Glinner and that knobhead J.K. Rowling come up with, even if it was true, it would give no excuse for demonizing an entire group, an entire minority of people. You know,
and it's so rare, like, because what you're looking at when you're thinking of someone that is from the trans community or is black or brown or Asian or of any other ethnicity, it's a tiny percentage of a bigger percentage. So your chances are slimmer automatically by dint of how much smaller that part of the population is anyway. And of course, I'm not taking away from crimes that are inflicted upon people by people from those smaller minority groups, but anecdotally, including amongst my friends, it's all been white cis men that have harmed us.
Isn't it interesting though, Tan, that they say not all men all the time? People say not all men. You never hear anyone from that side saying, oh, it's not all trans people,
Yeah. Unbelievable. Like I just get so angry.
Oh, it's not all black people. Oh, it's not all Muslims. You never hear that, do you? It's funny that. From those people.
I mean, sadly, the only people that I ever see downplaying crimes that are committed against any gender are men. If a man talks out about being sexually assaulted, there's not loads of women in the chat going, were you asking for it though? What were you wearing? Were you drunk? You're lying. You're just being a slut, aren't you? You don't see that from women. You see nothing but like support, because we know what it's like to live through that. Sadly, a vast majority of us know what it's like to live, to deal with that. Anyway, super chat.
Ooh.
To break up this deep dark, depressing conversation. Thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you for that ad popping up. Right, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? I'm here. I'm here. I'm partially queer. Get used to it. Urine infecting of £2. Super chat. My mum sounds like Bricktop from
Perfect.
That's amazing. I'm trying to think of Bricktop. Oh my god, Bricktop. It reminds me of those there's those rappers, aren't there? There's those older guys that do rapping. They're amazing. They're like East London OAPs. And they do like these dirty raps on Instagram. They're one of my favourite. I can't remember what they're called now. It's called something like Baz and Dave or something. And they had a woman on there that looked like Well Pat Butcher, and she was like rapping about Big Minge Energy. It was amazing. You need to get your mum, Yuri, to join that troupe. I tell you, I don't know if they're referred to as a troupe. Ice, boo.
Ooh.
After 10 years, recognised as a lady in archery, I now find a on target list where everyone else is lady or gent. I'm outed as open. It stinks.
Wow.
Not sure I follow that. I'm just trying
So
to.
for years of being down as a woman, because of the new rules that have been brought in the wake of this horrific Supreme Court judgment, I'm guessing that people are being outed. This is happening in the Women's Institute. It's happening in the fucking Girl Guides.
Yeah, disgusting. Yeah. No, I've heard about that. I mean, a lady that I follow on, a woman that I follow on Insta called Ashley. I always forget her surname. She was a patron of the Girl Guides, and she stepped down over this, and rightly so.
Yeah.
But
it's not the Girl Guiding's fault. It's not the Women's Institute's fault. What's happening is the billionaires, the fuck billionaires like J.K. Rowling, they are threatening to sue the Women's Institute and the Girl Guides if they don't stop trans girls and trans women being part of that. They will find a clocky turf in the Women's Institute who's prepared to take them to court because there was a trans woman in a meeting once and she sat, on a row at least, 7 chairs away. And it made them feel uneasy, and they'll take it all the way to court. And the Women's Institute and Girl Guiding can't afford to pay those court fees. They've got the lawyers in, and they've just gone, this is the only thing you can do. The Women's Institute welcomed trans women all my life. Yeah. All my life. I'm 46. All my lifetime, they have welcomed trans women. And it's been a safe place for trans women to meet with other women. And the Women's Institute has its history in the suffragette movement. It's not just... knitting doilies and shit. This was a political movement for women. No. That's the whole idea. One of the best documentaries I've ever seen was a couple of women from the Women's Institute going around the world looking at prostitution.
Really?
A couple of old ladies just going around the world, finding out how prostitution is done in all these different countries. And it was
old ladies.
Mind-blowing. It was brilliant. And it was just lessons to be learnt in the UK, where women who work in that particular profession are given no safeguards by society or the police or anyone. I just left.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. I agree. And they didn't give Tony Blair any.
Oh yes, and they started slow hand clap.
Clapping.
I remember that
when he tried to use an appearance at one of their conferences as a way to float a new policy. And I remember seeing it was on one of the documentaries, I think it was the Blair Brown years. Alistair Campbell was like, fucking hell, he's recalling the excruciating moment when the mask slipped with Tony Blair, where he looked genuinely shit scared, and it's one of the few times he's done that, and that was in front of the WI. But no, yeah, you're right, it's legislation, and it's a consequence of, sadly, all the same groups that are funding, they care about women, but they're the same groups that are funding anti-abortion groups. Yes. The same groups that are that Nigel Farage is getting in bed with. And this is precisely what Stella Creasy was trying to put in place to protect women from by full decrim of abortion. Yeah. And when people were all applauding it, even feminist accounts were going, this is great. I was like, no, it's fucking not. The justice sensitivity in me was raging because we're still vulnerable. And we are, still women are going to be vulnerable to what Farage can do, which a full decriminalisation would have prevented.
Yeah.
But again, these are the same groups that are trying to cut women's rights, and it's so right what Rachel says about this, about how trans women first they came for is just it's Project 2025
gateway drug. It's a gateway drug.
It's the gateway drug. They're the kind of like I'm trying to think about what the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah.
When
they go after trans women, then they go after gay people, then they go after women, then they go.
But they do it all simultaneously because it's the same groups and it's the same billionaire bastards who
share that article with you that 80% of the funding for transphobic groups in America comes from the oil industry.
Of course, and it's also the culture war raging Christian.
Industry.
It's the Christian nationalists as well.
They're funded by the oil industry as well.
Exactly, and vice versa. So, like, they made their money in that. Many of them did, or if you go to any group of people in America that have a vast amount of wealth, they're all specifically funding people. It's an international far right network. You've got them all funding people like Robinson, like Cunty Hopkins, and it's just blatant scapegoating that we have seen since the dawn of time.
Deleted 123 in the chat here is saying people wouldn't be bothered unless they were told to be bothered about trans people in the tabloids, and that's absolutely true. 10 years ago, so if you see anyone put any transphobic shit on Facebook, ask them this question, tell them to go through their feed and find something transphobic that they've written to see for everyone to see from 10 years ago, and there won't be anything. There's never anything.
No, there won't.
They only decided that they don't like trans people the other day because they were told to by Rupert Murdoch.
It's radicalization, like the slow drip of radicalization. And it's really appropriate to call it radicalization because it's deliberate and it's manufactured outrage. And they're doing that for a purpose. They're doing that so that they can divide and conquer. It's tale as old as time. And sadly, the one thing that really fucks me off about my own class of people is that they fall for it time and time again. Like, they don't wise up. Like, people should be teaching their children as they're growing up that this is what they, it all started, like, where we are now is a direct byproduct of Margaret Thatcher's managed decline, which she inflicted specifically on Liverpool as one of the places in the 80s. And we've never recovered from that type of managed decline and neoliberalism and that type of capitalism. And capitalism failed as a construct in 2008, and we're still shagging the ghost of it and living in this hyper normalization of just making do because nobody knows what to do when we've got a system that doesn't work. It's fucking mad. Anyway, sorry. Super chat.
We do have some super chats.
Ivan Ambrose, thank you very much. Thank you very much. No suppression. Oh, God, I've lost it. No suppression here of my Suffolk accent. It's strong. The only way is Suffolk. I agree with you. I'm not great at doing a Suffolk accent, even though my...
I thought that was more kind of Cornish.
It's very similar. It's very similar. My parts of my family were from... it begins with an S. I always forget the name
Suffolk.
of it. Stowmarket, which is I think it's Suffolk. That might be Norfolk. I don't know. But yeah, no, good. Don't suppress your natural. I'm going to stop doing the fucking accent. Stephen Merriman here to lighten the mood by saying transphobic debates always end up in the toilet. And you're so right about clocky turfs, man. Like, I have to admit, I got into a proper spat with an LGB woman on Twitter once, and I couldn't help it. I was like, "Look, love, not being funny, but you look like Huey Lewis. You're gonna have more problems than me in the toilet. You're gonna get trans investigated." I, as a woman with, I'm not bigging myself up here, fairly nice pair of tits, blonde hair, blue eyes. I get constantly trans investigated. People are like, "Oh, don't mean to be funny, but are you a man?" I'm like, what?
And if you get it, what are they going to get when they go to the toilet?
Exactly.
Did you see the woman in Scotland who lost her appeal against having to work with a trans person in this company of over 9,000 employees.
For Christ's
and
sake.
she lost. And honestly, she looked like Rodney from Only Fools and Horses. I know that sounds awful, and we shouldn't judge people on how they look. But when someone is that fucking awful, that they'll take someone, they'll take a company to court for employing a trans woman, then they can fuck off. I'm sorry. I'll say what I like.
Dave. The funniest thing about that is when I was growing up, right? Like my little brother, who's like, well, technically my big brother is like 6 foot odd something. He like dwarfs me. He looked just like Rodney, and his name's Dave. So he always used to. Everyone's Dave. But no, it's so like. All bets are off when someone's an arsehole, as far as I'm concerned.
But they're making life more difficult for themselves. If every time you go to a public toilet, people are going to say, "Are you a real woman?" though? For fuck's sake! What? Oh, hang on, Tan's just gone. What happened, Tan?
I'm here.
I'm still here.
My bloody
this is like Ghost Watch all over again.
My Ozbot just went funny, and now it's gone nice and slow again. Thank you, Ozbot.
Oh, sorry about that. Quick, lube it up.
I need to lube myself up again. That's exactly what I need to do. That's the lesson that I need to take away from tonight is always come lubed. Oh,
yes.
shit. Jesus, that's going to get clipped. Yulia Peknov, thank you very much for the super. Charlie says good night. He has his cardiology appointment tomorrow. Good night, Charlie.
Good night, Charlie.
Give you a heart for your heart and your cardiology appointment tomorrow. Bless him. Sorry about all the swearing and all the lube chat, man. Considering that you've had a child. Daddy, what's lube? Don't you worry about that, son. You don't need to worry about that for some time yet. Stephen Merriman. Nigel Farage on the toilet floating a new policy.
Hey.
We need the squeaky tank at times like this. Stephen is just like batting them out tonight, man. Wedge issue. Very good. Again, Stephen Merriman, thank you, dear. Canaries in coal mine were only needed because owners would not pay for air shafts, which would have solved the gas problem. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Another example of the bastards.
The bastards, Rich. There's a statue of a guy here in Durham. He's in the city centre, right? He's this big twat on a big twatting horse with a big twatting feather coming out of his twatting hat, right? And it's a huge statue, and nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows. He's Lord Londonderry, right? Who is a guy who owned hundreds of mines here in Durham, in which he had children working down them.
Christ,
so when we talk about pulling down statues of slave traders and all these gammony fucks go, we can't do that, it's history, innit? I'm like, well, why aren't we taking this down? This guy killed thousands of Durham children. And he was a Tory MP, because of course he was. And he actually stood up in the House of Commons. This is in Hansard in 1842. And he said, no, we shouldn't ban 8-year-olds from working down mines because they're the only ones who can get in the little holes. That's what he fucking said. He voted against it. Thankfully, it went through. The Victorians got rid of children going down mines eventually. Not any help from Lord Londonderry, who had a big palatial manor in Northern Ireland being built during the potato famine in Ireland, while millions of Irish people were starving to death or leaving the country, and he gave about £2.50 to the famine fund and spent about 18 million quid on his house.
I was watching a really good documentary. I was watching Empire, and that goes into history that I had never known about the era of the potato famine. It's such David Olusoga, brilliant series. The exploitation of other elements of Britain by Westminster and their ilk, particularly.
The Irish population still hasn't recovered.
No, of course it hasn't.
To this day.
And this is why I've got so much respect. Well, one of many reasons that I've got so much respect for Sinead O'Connor. She was a truth talker, and what was she? Labelled as just a mental woman. You know, it's just tale as old as time on that front. But it just proves just how much I hate Tories and I hate the super rich, and I think that we should eat them all. I think that's a brilliant solution, although there'd probably even be tough to deal with when you were trying to cook them. But urine infectinov, thank you very much again. If Charlie asks about lube, I'll send him your way, Miss Britanskiii. Yeah, great. Yeah, that will get me on a register. If I'm having to teach a child about.
So we've had a steward's inquiry here. He was actually the Marquess of Londonderry.
Oh, the Marquess of Londonderry. Brilliant. Oh, great.
Charles
that's nice.
Vane Tempest Stewart.
A nice salt of the earth name there. Yeah. Like
7th Marquess of Londonderry.
God, I hate them all. And now, and modern day lords, or they want to be. I mean, when you look at what they're trying to do, the kind of tech bro billionaires nowadays, they're basically trying to rule the world. Like,
no, there's another one. Sorry, that was later. That was like this is going back. This is going back. Oh my God, because obviously you got the 7th, so there must have been a 3rd or something. Right, you carry on. I'm going to try and find out what the name of this particular guy is in Durham who killed all the kids.
I love the way that we're seeing Graham's ADHD kick in real time here, because he's got to go down this rabbit hole now, and I fully understand and respect that. Kieran Croissant, thank you so much for the super chat. That manor was also where they hosted the Nazis, says Kieran.
Oh yes, and
Brilliant.
Charles Vane Tempest Stewart was the British Secretary of State for Air, and he praised the Nazis. So there you go. The 7th Marquess of Londonderry was a Nazi. Okay, cool.
Well, he's got something in common with the reform councillors that are having to step down, and arguably, allegedly, reportedly, young Farage, because that's what I've been researching recently. Is the kind of the sheer amount of mad shit that you get that comes up when you type into Google reform councillor, and it is the new Florida man.
Yeah. Seriously,
like, there was one guy who, like, when I was just typed it into Google, it's reform councillor punched WhatsApp.
What?
That was one of the things that come up.
Punched what?
Punched WhatsApp. So he punched his own phone in because of something to do with WhatsApp.
Oh my God.
It was
anger issues, anyone?
Truly bizarre tale. But then there was also Tom Pickup a couple of weeks ago, who was in that extremist group chat created by Mrs. The typo always fucks me off. Mrs. Kent, aka that weird grubby bitch who looks like Jerry from Wish, who wears that like dirty Union Jack dress and has a massive WhatsApp group where people were sharing pictures of weapons, talking about how Keir Starmer needs an effing bullet. And the reform councillor saw that and just made a homophobic slur to join in with them.
Nice.
He wasn't calling any of it out. He claimed he hadn't seen any of it. He's still standing as an independent on that council. Then there's, what's his name? Ian, got the note here. Ian Cooper. Ian Cuntberger Cooper, who was making deeply racist remarks about Sangeeta, my friend, Sangeeta Maisker, Sadiq Khan. He was also sharing posts that said that we should have fought alongside the Nazis.
Nice people. Nice people.
This is who the kind of like, England for the English so-called patriots are now, people that think that we should have been overthrown by the Nazi party. Okay,
so I've found Londonderry's Marquess of Londonderry's it was the third, Charles Vane, the 3rd Marquess of Queensbury. I'm going to read out what he actually said in Parliament.
Go on, you need to.
In 1842, I got the year right. With respect to the age at which males should be admitted to mines, the members of this association have unanimously agreed to fix it at 8 years. In thin coal mines, it is more especially requisite that boys varying in age from 8 to 14 should be employed, as the underground roads could not be made of sufficient height for taller persons without incurring an outlay so great as to render the working of such mines unprofitable. So we have to put kids down mines for them to die of black lung at the age of 13, because otherwise you're not going to make as much money.
It's the same attitude as a slave.
Said that out of his face.
It's the same attitude that they had towards slaves.
They don't have a statue to the slave owners in Johannesburg. Well, not Johannesburg, they wouldn't be there, but in Accra, in Ghana. They don't have statues up in the Ivory Coast or Benin or Ghana or Togo or Nigeria, they don't put up statues to the people who enslaved them. We might put up statues of slavers here in the UK, and they might put them up in America, but in those countries they're not going to. But we've got a statue of a guy who enslaved effectively Durham children and made them work down his fucking mines.
Someone needs to shoot it, like shotgun its head off or something. The statue YouTube. I'm not talking about a person, but no, it's. I mean, in Britain, for example, we made a descendant, a beneficiary of the slave trade prime minister, that moon-faced, biscuit-mouthed twat who ruined the country, David Cameron.
Yep.
He was the descendant of a slave empire. Like,
Yep.
he benefited financially, and he was our prime minister.
Yep. Reparations were paid, not to the slaves, but to the slave owners.
To the slave owners.
And the interest on that loan that the government took out to pay off the slave owners in the 1830s only just got paid off about 10 years ago.
Absolute fucking disgrace. Honestly, it's so grim. And then you get all these, pretend patriots getting
Plastic
furious
patriots
with you for talking about the reality of what, especially people like Churchill, put people through, and entire nations, or what Kitchener did in the Boer War, or like, these people don't have any semblance of reality. They don't have. They're in denial about the reality of not only what we are enduring now and the state of the country now, but they're in denial about our entire history. Like, they will not face the reality of the brutality and the subjugation of other people, because they're tacitly, if not directly, participating in the subjugation of people now, be it trans people, gay people, black people, immigrants, asylum seekers.
And but if they lose anything, Tan, they're the first to complain. Have you noticed that? If they're made to wear a mask when they go out, or they're told they can't go to the pub, or they have to sit in a certain place on an airplane, or they're told they're not allowed to have a particular bank account that they really, really want, they throw a fucking tantrum. They spit the fucking dummy out the pram. It's all over the front pages of the news. Oh, how dare this rich person not be allowed to do whatever they want? Oh! And it's like, rich person says something fucking horrible and gets taken to court for it. Oh, why are you taking this rich person to court for saying something absolutely horrific on their massive platform of 17 million people? Well, because it's against the fucking law. And when they were going off on one last year about the woman who's put away, who pled guilty to a crime after she incited racial hatred, the crime that she committed was put on the statute books, not when Labour were in, like in the week before the riot started. No, it was Margaret Thatcher. She was the one who put that on the statute books, and she pled fucking guilty. And she's like, oh, it's a stitch up. She pled guilty to a crime that has been a crime for 40 fucking years. And now she's being paraded around at the refuck carnival at the convention to say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. You ask an American to give an example of where free speech has been curtailed in this country, they can't give one.
Well, most of them can't even point to Britain on a map, frankly. No offense to my American viewers, who are obviously very clever and very sexy, but the majority of the dickheads that voted for Trump, it reminds me of that line from Forrest Gump. There's another country, where he's just shocked that there's like a whole other country. The exceptionalism in America is another level, frankly. But like Lucy Connolly being paraded around at Reform Conference by a man that's definitely not racist. Just look at the hissy fit that thin skin loser is showing for facing his first ever round of accountability for what he's done. He's not faced any accountability for what he did to the country of Brexit, which he's now capitalising on, because the boats only came after the Dublin regulation, that was over. But the way that he's laying into a media class that has basically paraded him around like the Spice Girls for the last, 8 years or more without any real accountability. And now that he's facing it, just look at the petulance of it. Yeah. That is someone that has never, ever had to pay the price for what he has done in his life.
No.
And the saddest thing about all of it is that as far as I can see, the saddest thing about all of it is that it's going to make not a shit of difference to his core base, the people that will vote for him. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever. If anything, it will encourage them to vote for him, because they're so blinded by the great term footballification of the situation, by this team versus that team, by playing politics on easy mode, and the laziness of it, that they're not going to look into anything that matters. They're not going to think about how this is going to affect them. They're going to believe the most cartoonishly obvious con. It's like a clown, tiptoeing over a landmine site. It's so obvious to. Do they smell the flour of a clown expecting to, you know what I mean? Do they think that the pie is freshly baked for them? It's just another level of idiocy.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry. No, you carry on whilst I get to the point.
I was just going to say, by the way, for this statue that is in Durham, it's fucking magnificent. As a work of art, it is absolutely breathtaking. It needs to be removed from where it is in the middle of the marketplace in Durham, and put in a museum and contextualized correctly. This guy was a war hero. That's why they put a statue up for him, which is fair enough. But he also had some very fucking dark things in his life. And the fact that he killed so many kids in this county, in his minds, for profit, he killed kids in Durham for money. I don't think a statue should be up. And we've had this conversation about statues since the Coulson statue came down. If you have a statue, it's a celebration of someone. It's not teaching someone history. And I am sick to the back teeth of people who don't have an A-level in history, unlike me, and they don't have a degree from university in history, like me, right? They can't be asked. They never even read a fucking Wikipedia page in their fucking life. And they're like, can't take that statue away, then people won't know their history. You're erasing history. I'm like, fuck off, go do a degree. Come back to me. You don't go, oh, look at that statue there. I'll investigate. I want to know more. That statue sat there for 100 years in Durham. No one's ever said, who's this guy again? He's what? He did what?
And look at who decides the history that we're taught. It's the rich fuckers. It's written by the victors. In the future, it will be written by whoever's AI is, but it's written by the victors. It's written by posh people. And the same thing that you're talking about in terms of how history is selectively kind of provided to us reminds me of how, when it comes to working class issues, when it comes to class issues, it's so often people that went to private school that are talking about that too. I mean, there's people like me that have lived it, that have built my own independent channels, but they'll go to someone like Grace Blakely to ask for her opinion on it, or they'll go to someone like Owen Jones for their opinion on it, and then they'll particularly Owen Jones. I've never had any run-ins with Grace Blakely, but he has been an arsehole to me and undermined my voice and what I do.
I
but
like
he's
Grace
devoted.
Blakely. I think she's sound, but she is incredibly posh. And
She's incredibly posh.
To hear her say, well, we need to really look out for the working classes. And I'm just like, I don't know if you're getting the
she's
message.
great. Like, I'm not knocking Grace Blakely at all. Like, but I do find it really grating when they would maybe go to someone like that as opposed to someone that's actually lived it. And also the same applies to politicians that are definitely ultra posh. That are in the kind of like, say, Corbyn faction of the Labour Party.
Let's not go there.
Corbyn especially. I mean, God, he grew up in a manor house, went to a prep school.
Private prep school.
A private prep school, that is a prep school, but a lifetime of, his job was essentially just protest and taking taxpayers' money for the benefit of it. Millionaire.
And not being able to make a decision. Except tell Sarah no. That's the only decision he makes. What does she want to do? She wants to call it the Left Party. Nah, fuck that. We're not even going to put it on the ballot.
I'm really bothered with how people are kind of like, not you, generally how people, but I guess, sorry, Zara, mate, you should have got out of there the moment that shit started going down, because it was always going to be a disaster from the beginning. The moment that it was revealed to be a sexist boys club, you should have got the fuck out of Dodge, mate.
Can I just say to Lag Monster, hey mate, how's it going? If you do want pina coladas on Ginger Island, I'm going back in March. I'm going to be there all month. So I don't know how you can make this logistically work, but if you want to come over, you are very welcome to do so. I'm going to be on my Todd. So yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Lag's been on the island before. So if you want to come back, if you want
I never have.
come to the island, getting eaten alive by the little fucking no-see-em bugs.
Don't. I've got
midgies.
I've got a massive fear of getting two things in life. One of
Yeah.
them's rabies, and
Yeah.
the other, like a deep fear. The amount of times I Google or have Googled, can this thing give me rabies? And it's like, no, we're mostly sorted in England. Like bats have rabies-like diseases, but you're mostly okay. And the other is getting some kind of mosquito-borne disease.
Like leishmaniasis.
Or like West Nile or something like
Yeah.
that. Just anything
Malaria.
that's just
And
malaria,
and Japanese encephalitis, yellow
Dengue.
fever, dengue fever.
dengue fever.
Yeah, I think there's about 40 odd different vectors.
Exactly,
You can get from the old
so
mozzies. We don't have too
given-
many. We don't have mozzies on the islands. We just have no-see-ums.
Well, I am like a catnip to bitey things. So, sorry, I've got a super here from a little while ago, which is
Ooh.
from George only. What's the
Oh,
score?
George.
George only. Yes, I'm not allowed to say it in written words, but I wish to echo Tan's spoken words about the super rich. Brilliant. I think that was when I was talking about munching them.
Eating them. Eat their rich. No, we were talking
The head or
about
the brains.
the comic strip presents film from the 80s called Eat the Rich.
Absolutely.
That's what we were talking about. We weren't telling people to eat the rich because that would be naughty.
No. But I definitely, when I rule the world, I'm definitely going to bring in toff hunting.
I still think that would be a great rail shooter. Like if someone made an indie video game and you basically are on top of a train shooting posh people in top hats and monocles. And when you shot, the money came out. And then when the train stopped at a station, you distributed the money to the needy.
Like Sonic.
Like Sonic, you just give all the rings.
Flying
You
everywhere.
just give all the rings to the needy. You just shoot them and then all this money's come out of them and it all gets sucked up. You have like a big money machine, like an old fashioned steampunk vacuum cleaner. And then when you get to the station, you distribute it amongst the people. And the more people who you make their lives better, then that's the higher score you get.
Can you incorporate the idea of that or toff hunting into the Hills Have Monocultures, please? Because
I'll try to.
I would like to give you permission to use the toff hunting idea, because one of the first person that when I make this legal that I'm going to go for is Jacob Rees-Mogg. I'm going to head to Somerset.
The second film in the trilogy is Boxing Day, and that is toff hunting. So it's fox hunting because it's Boxing Day, but then it turns into toff hunting.
Oh God, have I plagiarized you?
No. It's fine. It's a trilogy of well, it's actually 4 films, but
To be honest,
all the best
with you,
trilogies have 4 films.
I don't think that we've nicked this from each other. We just so happen to sometimes have the scary same brain, like we both came from the same womb. It's very weird. Anyway, you and Infectinov, thank you very much for the super chat. People don't read anymore. They just spit facts and figures that have been gleaned from a cursory glance at the internet or magazine articles. Yes, and people also don't read don't read articles. They just read headlines,
yeah.
if at all. Like the amount of times that I've put a tweet out where, like yesterday, for example, I was talking about Nathan Gill and Farage and the Matt Fry door stopping him in 2019 and asking all about Aaron Banks, and then him at the end saying, "Oh, Russia," when asked who funds him. Someone said to me in the chat, the chat on Twitter below it, "Oh, has anyone mentioned that Nathan Gill's in that?" I was like, mate, I put it in the tweet above the video. Like, do you not fucking read anymore? Like, it's there.
All right, calm down, Tan. It's okay.
How much clearer? How much clearer? Like, sometimes I feel like, do I have to come to your house and fucking feed it into your face? Have some reading comprehension.
Don't make me come back there.
Don't make me come back there, you slaves. Honestly, I get so angry about it.
I can tell.
I'm gonna have to unplug and plug in my camera again. Sorry, it's gone like a twat. Won't be a sec.
All right.
Okay.
Tan's sorting out a camera.
No, it'll be seconds. I'll be back.
We got another super chat in.
I'll do it. Sorry, Graham. I've just I don't want to feel like I'm shortchanging people. Won't be a second.
Tan's getting lubed up, ready to make her reappearance.
Oh shit! I've just turned the camera around somehow.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, it's Tiny being a slag. Hang on one second.
Don't be a slag, Mr. Tiny. There you go.
Oh no, it's worse. It might sort itself out. It might not. Time will tell.
It's having a
Anyway, I've
senior
got it
moment.
here. Oi. Oi, oi, oi. Oh my God. Violationov.
I tried to help. I was going to do it, Tan, but you were
Oh,
like, no, I've got it.
no, Graham, do it, please. Graham, say it. Say it. Say it.
I'm going to say it. Vyacheslav Ivankov. 1. Thank you.
Thank you for the £2
Super.
super. We've got Mark in the chat. Hey Tan, Graham and the chat. Hope all's well. Tan,
Hello.
when will you be dropping a video with your take on the Liz Truss show? Looking forward to it. Oh my God.
I was trailing this morning on my show. I was like, Tan's going to do something on that because, oh my God.
I've not even watched it yet.
Do you know she was an hour late getting started, which makes us look positively punctual.
To be fair.
And then it just cut off at the end, like halfway through a sentence. It's obviously been just produced by your kids or someone.
Oh my God. Like, I do understand on one very small level how hard it is to get started on time.
Especially when YouTube moves things around. Do you know what? I've also got to remember to do, Tan. Put things back to my channel once we've done this. Because you know that time a few months ago when I went out on your channel in the morning and I'm like, I don't know. I've just put the stream key in as normal, right? And it just stays the same one always. But it was on your stream key, not mine. So I was doing the morning show, but it was going out on Tan's channel.
And you were so in your element as well. You were like full steam ahead. And people putting in the chat, people were like, what?
Where's Graham? But I had the chat from my channel, I think, but it was the chat from my channel, but it was the stream from your channel.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
What a nightmare.
Chris C said you might have missed a super chat from George. No, I think you did that one, didn't you?
Let me have a quick look whilst my
No, that was the one about eating the rich.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you said that one.
I don't think I've missed
Unless there was one behind there, but that's dropped off the leaderboard now. I can't see it.
But no, I'm gearing up. I mean, there's a bunch of things, but the problem is I have just been so burnt out, man. Like, I've had real problems just trying to basically focus. It got to a point this week where I think it's like partially seasonal affective disorder. But it got to a point this week where I couldn't even begin recording. Like, I've got all these notes down. I've got it all busy in my brain, ready to go out. And at one point I got really hyper self-aware and I couldn't even look at myself on camera. Like, I was like getting freaked out by it. And I was like, something's not right with me today. Like, I'm not feeling, I got like hyper self-aware, like horribly so, even more so than usual. And I am going to definitely get round to it. I mean, I was going to do like a mad vent, but then I realized that the amount of effort that it takes just to try and get a video out, it's I don't want to complain because it's not like, mind you, at the same time, I've never worked as hard at anything as I have YouTube, like in my life. No job. I've never put in like 80 hours a week into a job only to get like less than minimum wage for it. But I love doing it and that's why I do it. But it's also incredibly difficult. The amount of research that you have to do. You know, the amount of research, the amount of effort, the amount of brain power when you're fighting against your own brain with something like ADHD, because I have to have everything in a row, like all the ducks in a row, or I can't start.
Chatting with like the likes of Maximilian helps though, because he was like, I had to start this one video 79 times, and I was like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one who did that.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's not quite right. It's not quite right. It's not quite right. And then you finish it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's all right. And you put it into edit, and you're like, it's not quite right. And you go,
yeah. And also fucking around for hours with thumbnails and such.
Yeah.
And also hyper kind of perfectionist with all the blurbs and everything, which is why when you get a video that bombs, like the first, and my video was actively suppressed by YouTube. The only one I've ever had that's actively suppressed was about Russia, Nathan Gill. And they showed it to a tiny percentage of my subscriber base, a tiny percentage. All the stats were completely wrong. and I'd put like ridiculous amounts of effort into that video. And for it to bomb, you get that whole rejection sensitive, like, oh God, like everyone thinks I'm a cunt. And it makes you feel so bad. And the problem is you worry that people think that about you all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when like it's kind of confirmed and I knew that YouTube was suppressing it, and I did get somehow the same amount of likes and lovely comments I'd normally get. It was just not being pushed to anyone. That was a real low point, man. Like I've been on a bit of a downward slope since then. Because I could have done without that happening at a time when I'm getting battered.
Yeah, and the weather's not helping, and all of our friends are, not doing so well at the moment.
My friends are so depressed.
And I mean, it's just that time of year as well. It's just like it gets dark before it gets light, and it's just I'm looking forward to the getting longer days, which is going to happen in just 13 days. The days are going to start, so less than 2 weeks, my friends. The days will start getting longer again, but I really miss it. I miss the sun. Every day you look out and it's fucking grey. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, don't. It's very, very badly affected me this year. Just like my video being extremely slow is really badly affecting me mentally right now. But it's messed with my head so badly. Like I've never had seasonal depression this bad before. And it doesn't hit people that are ADHD. Not that I ever go on about having ADHD, but recently diagnosed. Give me a year to talk about it. Depression actually hits people with ADHD differently. It doesn't always manifest in the same way as standard depression. So it will be your brain fog will be worse. You will find it you'll find it harder to concentrate. You'll lose confidence in the things that you love doing. And I love making videos. I love it. And I just, it's almost like that part of me just fell away in the last month. And it's really, really bothered me because people are like, oh, when are you going to talk about this? When are you going to talk about that? And I'm like, I just need to find a crumb of focus and then I can kind of crack on with it. And that crumb has not been forthcoming, but I have got like again 3 ideas in my head. One is a brilliant Raz of Liz Truss. One's about that Farage Russia video, and another is about Farage's racism. But I just need to crack on and just try and get it done.
Yeah.
But the problem is like my motivation and my ability to start, and then worrying endlessly about whether or not I'm saying even just certain words correctly, and then repeating them to the point where you're like, does this word even mean anything anymore? I don't understand it. I can't deal with my video being like this. It's fucking me up. I'm going to try and...
It's fine, Tan. Don't worry about it.
It's not fine.
As long as you don't move too much, it's okay.
1 second. I'm just going to try and... Sorry. Hold the fork for a second.
Hold the fort. I was going to say thank you so much to George only, because George has given all these gift memberships away, but I'll let Tan read that out if she wants to.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just trying to sort this fucker out.
You're in Infectinov says, I watched Truss's show. I assume she went off mid-sentence due to failure to photosynthesize. Malak Archer says, in terms of the rich getting away with shit, my mother had an enlightening chat with someone who went to school with the piss artist formerly known as Prince Andrew in the 1980s. Yeah, fucking Prince fucking Andrew. What a heap of shit. What an awful human being. And yeah, I think that would have been earlier than the 80s for him, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that have been the 70s, Prince Andrew? He was running around pretending he was a fucking man I am, and he was known as, what was he called, Randy Andy, because back then it was funny that like these old men were leching on young women. And what else have we got in there? Ian Clark says, it's only after working in mental health I realised how I have been affected all my life, intrusive thoughts and flashbacks all my life, and different narratives going on in my head. Yeah, Ian, it's quite liberating to get an actual diagnosis on what's going on in your head, because you can't experience anyone else's brain. You can't experience anyone else's reality. You can empathize all you like, but if there's something going wrong with your head or your brain chemistry is just different, you don't know. you don't know until people come together and say, "Oh, hang on, yeah, that's what I do as well." And you stop feeling so alone. You stop feeling so abnormal. You realize, actually, no, this is just a trait that humans have. And there's a lot of us who, in case of autism or ADHD or borderline or whatever, who have those traits. And it makes it easier to manage if you know that it's a trait and you can do something about it. But Tam, me and Mike Dix are talking about doing a show called ADH Me, where we talk about our diagnosis and what our symptoms are in terms of ADHD. And we don't like the D at the end because we don't think it's a disorder.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to come on and talk about one thing in particular that affects women more, which is PMDD, which women and people who have periods are 4 or 5 times more likely to have if they have autism or ADHD.
Wow.
And it is a really awful condition. I've had it most of my adult life, and I didn't understand what it was until I Googled, why do I feel like throwing myself off a bridge when I have my period, like when I have PMT? Like women, loads of women. Also, the rate of, I'm going to have to say the word, I'm sorry, unaliving yourself is vastly higher in ADHD women than ADHD men. Like that's one of the areas where we excel in terms of succeeding, sadly, in doing that compared to men. And I think a vast proportion of that is down to PMDD. Because it is a brutal condition. The only times in my life where I've ever felt like that way has been in the last week before my period has started.
Wow.
And it's like an ex once said to me when, he wasn't being an arsehole. He was like, I asked him if he noticed the difference. And he said it was like you'd get to a certain point in the month and like the shutters would come down. Like it would be like you just kind of flip into a different way of being. And I wasn't horrible to him, but I was more to myself. You tend to turn it in more on yourself as a woman. And that again, it's not related, but that's what they're finding a lot in prisons, where women are more susceptible to taking their own life in prison, and such, because we tend to turn it all in on ourselves and blame ourselves, and it's just another layer of self-loathing. So I'd love to come on and talk about experiences as a woman, and also how we're underdiagnosed compared to boys, because all of the diagnostic tests are based on basically boys, just like as Invisible Women shows a lot.
And literally boys as well. For a long time they thought that adult men couldn't have ADHD. They thought that once you became, once you're 16, 17, 18, you literally couldn't have it anymore. It was just something that affected children. And
insane.
Yeah, the amount of misinformation that has been out there for so long. But it really fucks me off when people saying, "Oh, everyone's saying they've got ADHD these days." I'm like, no, it's the same people. It's just that there was no term for ADHD when me nan was in school. Do you know what I mean? Not that I think me nan went to school.
That's
but
another video that needs to be done, because what the fuck are Labour playing at with this? I mean, it's another.
Oh yeah, fucking dickhead, but balloon faced cunt. What's his name?
Dodecahedron head, as Charlie Craggs calls him.
Do you want to talk about George? Because George has gifted 5 Supertanskiii gift memberships to 5 lucky recipients.
George, I'm so sorry that I'm saying this to you whilst I'm just jittering about like a fucking idiot. But thank you so much for offering out the gift memberships. I didn't see who they went to.
I can read them out if you like.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you,
So
Graham.
we've got Alice Sturm, first of all. Viper Scott has got a membership. Martin Harrow has got a membership. Lag Monster, hi Lag, has got a membership. And Michael N, 1090, has got a membership. And also Haxola 5548 has also got a membership. So welcome new members.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That's very for someone in the chat also. Thank you so much for that. That's really kind of you.
I think we also have a super chat from Stephen again.
Oh, do
Unless we missed it. Oh,
you never heart it. You never know what you're going to get with Stephen. I tell you that for now. Condition of the English class by Engels must be read as should be E.P. Thompson, The Making of the English Working Class.
Well, don't
As should
forget,
be.
like there wasn't a working class until the Industrial Revolution. It was just peasants and lords, and
Yeah.
then we had a working class, and there wasn't a middle class really until after the war, the Second World War, with the establishment of the NHS and the fact that you'd have one income in a house, you have 7 fucking children, and you could buy yourself a detached house. How the fuck did that happen? And there was a woman. It was like if someone wants to make an article just to piss me off, I think it was in the Times, and there was this old lady who was like 87 years old, and she was living in this house in London, and she bought it for £4,000 back in the 70s, and it's now worth £7 million pounds.
I featured her in my video,
and I'm just like
the rage of it.
And she's going, I'm going to have to pay an extra £2,000. I won't be able to afford it. Yes, downsize. You're living alone in a 7-bedroomed house in a fucking cost of living and a housing crisis. What the fuck? Like, these people, do you think they're going to take it with them?
And she claimed to be a Labour voter, and I made the joke in my video, like, oh yeah, poor her, she'll have a room for every week, day of the week to cry in. Because, like, she's having to pay a little bit more.
It's less than 0.1% of the value of her property.
Do you know what I did alongside that when I was talking about her and the other boomers? There was literally an article. It's the Tory graph and the Times, man, trying to make us feel sorry for all these rich bastards. And you've got bootlickers defending them. But in the background, when I was talking about this, I had that chart, you know, that was shared with the Smash Mouth song, where it's got the arrow going up of house price costs and the down, the very like minimally rising wage costs, and you just see it go like there's the normal, there's the wages, and you just see it go. You're not going to see this very well because I'm jittering around like a dickhead, but it was like that. And that's just what I had in the background playing whilst they were trying to complain about, I can't afford to turn on the Arga. Or I can't. There was one where a woman was, I can't afford a second pony. It's like, you fucking wise, love. Are you insane? Are you off your tits? I just saw a thing from Yuri as well, talking about how he said that he's beating the blues, I believe, by shooting street photography on Ilford HP5. Good film. Good film. I prefer the XP 400 ISO myself because you can use color chemistry to develop it, which means you can take it to snappy snaps, even though it's a black and white film. Photography chat in the house. Can you hear me okay? Have I gone bad?
Yeah. No. You were just talking. I was being polite. I wasn't interrupting for a change.
I thought I was badly boring you as usual.
See, you can't win, can you? If I interrupt you, you'll think you're boring me, and that's why I've interrupted. If I don't say anything, you think you're boring me because I don't say anything.
It was just because I was having to look down, because it helps if I look down, because you don't notice how fucking slow my thing is if I'm looking down.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's annoying me, man.
You're getting lots of love in the chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's almost as if it's my channel.
Glad to be here, you know.
To be honest with you, though, I think most of these people are only here really because I've got you on tonight.
Come on, you've got like twice the number of subscribers as I have. I'll kill for your number of subscribers.
I've got a really weird Manson-esque ability to draw a crowd, man. Sometimes, yeah.
Just get sexier. That's my downfall. Damn it.
Get yourself a nice pair of tits.
I'm not doing too badly, to be honest with you. I just have to give him a shave.
I'm working on it, love. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. I'm trying. No, but thank you for coming on. Everyone's like, oh, bless Viper Scott. Viper Scott just said in the chat, the sound is fine, Super.
It's all good.
It's the only
as long as we can hear you.
As
long as we can hear you, then we're happy. Do you know what it's like? Really... It's like a little flick book. It's like I'm watching a little flick book animation.
It was fine for a while. I don't know why it's gone bad again. Is it your end or mine? I can't figure it out. I can't shut down.
It might be my end. I don't know. I've just checked my speed.
You're okay, though.
It's like 500 megabits or something mad.
You're okay. Sarah Davis just said, where the cats? Over out of the corner of my eye, Fred is laying on a pink pillow, which makes his little makes his little pink toe beans look ever more cute. And Edie was trying to eat my toes earlier, so I had to mute my mic and tell her to fuck off. The kitties are about. I've got them some Christmas catnip. So I'm going
sweet.
to get laughs for days out of that because they just go weird and stoned, and it's funny. It's really funny. Someone just said, I wanted to see a blonde Southern woman talk. On your own, Alex. On your own. Not many people do normally. Might be the stream itself, StreamYard. How's I've only dropped 77 frames tonight, says Chris C. Chris C84. Flint Reed, thank you.
Oh, sorry, I liked that before you did. Sorry. That was fine.
We would be here even if you had nothing on. Easy now, Flint Reed UK.
I think Flint means like if you didn't have anyone else on the show, maybe.
No, he doesn't. He did a wink. He did a cheeky little wink. Mind you, I brought this upon myself tonight by talking about lube, only tans.
Yes.
No, only grands, wasn't it? No. It was it only? What was the name of my only tans channel?
Only tans.
No, it was Technan something.
Oh, lubed up Technan.
Lubed up Technan. I'm going to make a note of that in my book because it has to. I feel like that has to make it into my book, which one day will be found, and you'll see the madness of my notes. I've just written that like it doesn't even look like I've written lubed. Lubed. I need to stop saying lubed.
You do possibly.
I sound like I'm drunk. All I've had is a tea tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm being told to get a blonde wig. I need to get a blonde wig. I've got a blonde wig. I can go and get it if you like.
Get a fake pair of tits like on Bottom when Eddie dresses up. Don't pop them.
What was that? Was that for New Year or something when they had the party?
No, it's for when they go. It's one of the very few like full episodes that's set like entirely out of the gaff, out of the flat.
Is it down the pub? Is it down the pub one?
No, they nick Taffy O'Jones's hotel room, and they nick a car, and they're driving through the countryside, and they end up in a weird hotel, and they have to pretend they're on honeymoon. So Eddie dresses up as a woman and puts like balloons down his top to pretend that he's got a pair of tits. And he's like, "Don't pop them." But he doesn't put them on properly, so the tits are on his back. And then a French waiter cracks it on with him. It's one of the best episodes ever. It's
I must have seen it because there was only 18 episodes at Bottom, wasn't there?
It's the episode where he is trying to flirt with the maid, and
that sounds familiar.
He's trying.
Are you sure this wasn't Guest House Paradiso?
Absolutely not, because it was good. Like, Guest House Paradiso was terrible.
I saw that at the cinema.
The only person that's never let me down with a film after the fact was, even though he was a dick to me in real life, was Steve Coogan and Alpha Papa. That was a really funny film, man.
Yeah.
That was genuinely good.
Did you hear about that thing with the Penguin Diaries? Or the Penguin? Yeah, it was called the Penguin Diaries.
Oh, a whole bunch of weird shit's come out. Yeah.
So the guy he played has been accused by boys. He was a teacher at a school in the 70s. And quite a few of the boys he taught have come forward and said he was an abuser. Yeah,
there's that, and there's also the was it Richard III? He was found under a car park. Was it Richard III who was found under a car park?
Yeah,
they dug up.
Yeah. And Steve Coogan played the guy who dug him up in the film, and he didn't like the way he was portrayed. But I don't think he was a bad guy. This guy, the Penguin Diaries, turns out that he was a bad guy. So that's true, because he played Jimmy Savile as well, didn't he, Steve Coogan?
Fucking hell, it's the triple. The thing is, I think he had a part in deciding how one of the guys in the Richard III thing was played.
Yeah.
And they played him as a total piece of shit. But I think what Steve Coogan was trying to highlight was, I think, a Scottish historian whose story was overlooked in that.
Right.
But there was that, and then there was obviously the Penguin Diaries nonce episode, and then there was him playing a literal nonce,
Yeah.
a little bit too well. Like, if you're gonna do it, like,
Have you
just
watched it? Have you seen the Jimmy Savile?
I feel like you're profiting from a paedophile. Like, I don't want to watch anything like that. One of the things that I did watch was that, I can't remember the name of it now, years ago. It was a matey who played Taggart. Was it Taggart?
Yeah, that's going back a while, isn't it?
No,
He
no, no,
died.
no, 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 no. He's a Scottish guy.
The guy who played Taggart died in the
What's his
90s.
name?
Robbie Coltrane.
I think it was Robbie Coltrane. It was that awful thing about where he played what was like, it wasn't a real story. It was like a story of someone who was accused of historic abuse, and
Oh.
it was on Channel 4, and it was he was like playing the part of a TV presenter from way back when, and a number of women accuse him, and it was the fallout of that.
All right.
Nice uplifting show.
Yeah.
obviously, so-
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to move swiftly on from that because I've got another super chat,
Ooh.
which I fear moved up Technan. My eyeballs have steamed up, says you're an infected. I've encouraged people too much tonight, but all it shows is that my followers and my subscribers require very little in the way of encouragement. So I'm thinking about setting up this OnlyTans. I think I've got nothing to lose at this point, apart from my dignity, and there's not much of that left. We should probably wrap up soon. We've been going on for quite a while tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, we're nearly up to 2 hours.
Oh my lord!
It just flies. This is like when I give you a call or you call me, and we're just like, just a quick call, and like literally 7 months later, we're still there on the phone going, and another thing.
It's always phrased as a quick call, and we end up talking. The only other person that I do that with is my brother. Like, he and I will also do, and we've also got the same brain, where we'll be like, oh, we'll just have a quick catch up, shall we? And that, like today, and it was like 2.5 hours when I hang up the phone. My phone's hot from talking to him. But yeah,
Mike's like that. Hannah's like that as well. You get talking to Hannah, you'll be there like 3 years later.
I love it. When Hannah came to stay, we got absolutely rat-arsed. And I think we must have stayed up. It was summer, but I think we must have stayed up until about like 6 a.m, just talking.
Over the summer when we went to visit Mike, and it was just me and you, because Mike doesn't drink. So me and Tam were fucking wasted. And we were sitting in his living room. We didn't let him go to bed, and we were just basically talking at him. we were probably like Spud in Train Spotting when he goes for the job interview.
Yeah. Because it's like we'd taken speed, but we hadn't. Yeah, it was literally.
And another thing.
Because we'd had like that awful event happen that night as well, so we were all like fired up from the injustice of it. And then we did. I think it must have been like 4 or 5 a.m. before we let. Poor Mike was just sitting there, and there's me and you like sitting on the sofa, just like, right, like everything was coming out, everything. Someone in the chat just said my cat hates beef. That's a very interesting contribution to make to the chat there.
What does that mean? Beef as in the meat, or beef as in like getting into beef with the other cats? Like your cat like is averse to fighting with other cats?
I don't know. It didn't say the context. Oh, I've just seen here someone said something to me all in caps, so I'm going to read it out. Nukaria, listen to me now, right, Tan. I almost never bother with a live. I finally saw you on live, and no offence to Graham, but for a second when I first joined, I was gutted I couldn't see you. I am here for you.
None taken.
Graham's gonna like take his hat and kind of like walk away slowly now, like that bug with the bag on a stick.
It's supposed to be Christmas.
And we've got another classic here from Stephen Merriman. Are you ready for the joke? Are you ready? I was handsome in the past. I have photogenic memory. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Anyway, we probably should wrap up. I mean, I've got plenty of energy left in the tank, but I'm actually furious at my camera not working properly. So it's really bothering me. And now that's going to be in super slow motion.
It's okay.
Ah, you say it's fine because you're not in slow motion, but
I
this
know.
this
But
this kind of thing.
if roles were reversed, it would be absolutely doing my fucking head in.
It's been doing
know what
my
I'm
head
like.
in. We had a good run in the middle.
Yeah.
It's something to do with my cable, I think, because it's all plugged into my laptop
Your Vince cable.
my Vince.
I once met Vince Cable. Did I tell you this?
No.
Former
Oh
leader of the Lib
shit!
Dems.
Sorry, I'll be
What?
back in a second.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
it was no. You can hear
Someone at
me
the door.
still, can't you?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Yeah, sorry. It's just I was fiddling with it and it just popped out. Don't pop.
Excuse me? What? As the
That's what
actress said to the bishop, or maybe as the bishop said to the actress. I don't know.
More likely to be the bishop.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to connect. Sorry, Jesus
That's okay.
fucking Christ.
So anyway,
mate.
I met Vince Clark once. Vince Cable, sorry. And I called him Vince Clark out of Eurasia. I got his name wrong.
You should have had a little bit more respect.
Hey! See what he did there? Just a little respect for him. For him.
You, Vince Cable.
Andy's saying that Tan's in the Upside Down. Nice little Stranger Things reference. We'll catch up
I
on
lost
Stranger
interest after the second series. I've not watched anymore.
Oh, it's been quite good. It's been quite good. I'm very, very, very much enjoying Pluribus at the moment.
Oh,
Which is
really?
by the people who made Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And it's got Rhea Seehorn, who was in Better Call Saul. And basically, she plays this proper Karen. She's a total Karen, right? Who's never happy. She's just a miserable Karen. And one day...
Stereotype of a woman, then, yeah.
all the humans in the world, apart from her and a couple of others, become part of a hive mind. So they all share their thoughts and feelings. And she's left out. And she's trying to get everyone to go back to the way they were. But and so it's like, but they're all very nice. They're all very nice. They're all trying to help. Imagine zombies, right? But they just want to make you a cup of tea and fluff your pillow up. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but that sounds also sounds absolutely horrible.
I know. That's what's brilliant about it. It's like, what if zombies, but they're nice? It's very good.
Wow, just frozen in a very, very, very unflattering way.
Well, I wasn't. I was going to say you just frozen.
That does sound interesting.
It's good. It's like she's the most miserable woman in the world, and she's on a mission to save the world from happiness.
To be fair, though, like I can understand that because I think people that are overly happy are either simple. True though. Like if you're okay and you're fine with everything at the moment, you're not very clever, or
you're rich. Checking your wallet to see which one you are.
Either what you're not very clever, or you're just deep in denial. You're like, like that whole toxic positivity thing really pisses me off, man. It's like things aren't great. Yeah. And denying people the right to say that things aren't great isn't going to help anyone. It's just lying to yourself. It's like in the same way that CBT is a therapy, I think. I mean, if it works for you, great. But I think it is basically just gaslighting yourself. The painful route to me is the way that you get results, really.
But that works for you, but CBT might work for somebody else.
That's why I said at the beginning, if it works for you, great. Yeah. But in my experience, it's always just felt a little bit like... faking it till you make it, if that makes sense. So it's never really worked for me, whereas psychodynamic has, where it's getting deep into your psyche rather than
deep inside your brains,
because the practical side of it never really works for me. It's like I know precisely what I have to do to feel better, I just won't get round to it. There's always something else on the shit list, man. The list is, I've got a list longer than a Leonard Cohen song most of the time.
The shit list. Well, what's really shit is that we thought with Labour getting in last year, things, at least in the UK, would start looking up, and they haven't. And there's no getting away from it. Do you know what I mean? Labour need an absolute fucking rocket up their arse. But I saw something today, and I don't want to go off on one about Zach Polanski, but Someone was saying, "Oh, Andy Burnham, even if he does become prime minister or leader of Labour, he's not an MP. He's not an MP." And they've gone on about him being not an MP and how difficult it would be for him to become an MP, so he could be prime minister, right? And nobody said, but Zach Polanski's not an MP either, mate.
I know precisely who you're talking about.
Just okay.
And I also
did you think the same thing? Did you think, but hang on?
Well, yeah, I did think that, and I also thought that my nan's got more chance of winning an election than the fucking Green Party. My nan has literally got more chance of winning in an election as the Green Party, and I don't do this whole like getting swept away because with a populist, because he is undoubtedly a populist. He's providing.
Yeah, he said that. He came out the gate saying he wants to do popular green stuff.
Yeah, but it's overly simple solutions to complicated problems. Like the sad thing is, real change when it comes to inequality, and I'm not saying Labour's doing it correctly. Real change is fucking boring. It is protracted. It is toiling. It is effort.
Yep.
It's not, and also in order for your kind of like pie in the sky fantasy economics to ever take off, which it should do, like that should be the way things are, it would require the entire global system to change. Like we can't just have an economic system in a vacuum because we've got to rely on the rest of the world for trade.
That's true, but we could do better. We could be more like certain countries in certain respects that are doing a lot better in terms of looking after their own citizens.
I agree on that, and I agree on wealth taxes, and I agree with the sentiments of it, but I also agree that as much as I abhor neoliberalism, and I fucking abhor it, and capitalism broadly, we're also stuck. We're over a barrel. We're not going to be able to change all of that without there being like a global awakening, and with the rise of like the tech bros and billionaires wanting to literally rule the world. It's just not, you know what I mean?
Really
like
grim,
I want
isn't
it to.
It's really
I want it
grim.
to. And I understand what's happening with him too. I understand that he is filling a vacuum where hope has died, you know?
Yes.
Like people want to feel.
And I would say I'd rather people were sort of going over to his side than going to the previous leader of Labour's side, because I find the people that are following Polanski aren't as horrible. I don't know. I don't think there's an overlap. I think the people who like the previous leader are now part of your party, and I'm quite glad. I'm quite glad to do away with them. I don't want them messing up our meetings and messing up the left, and turning up and demanding stuff for pie in the sky shit, like you say. So
well, sadly, there is a lot of that on Polanski's side, and there are elements of where he crumbles.
There with like people just like, I will die for this man who doesn't know who I am.
Yeah. I'm seeing the cult of it, because when he first got elected, or made leader of the Greens, I put a post up, and I thought it was reasonable, if a bit cynical.
Did you call him a cunt?
No. I said the last thing we need is another middle class guy, like, and I said it's a bit predictable, really. And I got the same so-called progressives throwing like unfettered misogyny at me for making that comment. So it was very.
But was it like doxing? Was it like what you used to get with fucking they used to get proper threats from those twats?
It's not the same, because I did what I wouldn't have done back then, and I just deleted it, and I've shut down Twitter for the day, and I just ignored it, because I couldn't be asked with my comment wasn't. It was throwaway. It wasn't. Like it was something that I could probably elaborate on better in a video. So I just thought, fuck it, I'm not going to have this kept up. And it wasn't like an overly like massive post, but the comments that I had on it was so vicious from so-called progressives who are so progressive that they immediately revert to misogyny if they disagree with a woman they don't like. That I just got rid of it. But I got an inkling of it, and I thought, oh great, we're here again, are we? And that's very much, I don't buy what Polanski's selling. I'm not on any ideological level opposed to him necessarily. I I'm massively opposed to populism in all its forms because that takes away from the integrity of politics and it's fucking our democracy, whether it's populism on the left or the right.
Under normal circumstances, I would absolutely agree with you on that one. But right here, right now, the shit
All
we're
right, Fat Boy
facing.
Slim.
Yeah, who went to private school. The shit we're facing right now is so fucking grim and so immediate, this threat to everything that we know and everything that we love, that I get it. You know, you say real change is difficult and the people who do it, we need to be boring. Yeah, but your front man or your front woman, they've got to have some razzle dazzle about them. And Keir Starmer doesn't. And it's Labour's Achilles heel right now.
No, I
That
agree.
he can't debate himself out of a wet paper bag. He's just lucky that he's got Kemi Badenoch asking him six shit questions. She only asked him one question. She just asked six times. And it's always, why don't you resign? Which is a bit like going up to someone in Tesco who's like checking out, you know, and you just tell them, why don't you resign? And they're like, what? Why didn't you resign?
No, I agree with you.
Because I'm doing a job and I get paid for it and I've got it till, you know, I don't want it anymore.
Oh my God, Graham, I've just realised that your mum has been in the chat the whole night and I've been talking about lube and tech nans. Good night, Irene.
Hi, Mum.
She just said, enjoyed the chat. Good night, everyone. Irene, thank you for being very decent about what I've said. And also,
don't worry, I watched all of Game of Thrones with my mum, so she's seen it all. It's too late.
Tits and dragons, the whole lot.
Basically.
But Mrs. Hughes would like to say, I still often think fondly about the roast dinner that you made me. So, and you're a lovely woman, and you did something that I found very impressive, which was the moment I turned up, you got out the wine. Absolute fucking legend. But no, I do agree with you in the sense that we need what we need, and we have needed for some time, which the Greens are doing very well, which Labour have catastrophically failed on, is not just being believable as human beings, which is unfortunately, you know, the route that they've absolutely failed on spectacularly, but also getting a grip on the comms and actually learning how to use tech in a way that seems like you've not got a bunch of little Tarquins in from an ad agency who are doing outdated memes that mean nothing to your target audience, and ostracizing and not making the most of all the people that are, you know,
the shit I could do with a budget.
I know
the shit I could do, Tan, if someone just gave me even not like a big budget, maybe like £20,000 and said, here you go, Graham, here's your project, go and do this stuff. I'd get all of you lot doing stuff. I don't know, I could fucking pay you. And they go, no, sorry, Graham. You know this job that we advertised that you came down to London to try and get, and you had an interview on your fucking birthday, so you had to spend your birthday on a fucking train to fucking London. That was fun. And then going back and then not telling me for a month whether I got the job or not, and then telling me they gave it to an agency. Thanks for that.
That was an agency. Absolutely enraging.
If they'd given to someone else who came along, I wouldn't have minded it so much, Tan, but they gave it to a fucking agency and it was shite. What they did was shite. They didn't get a single extra subscriber on their YouTube channel, on their TikTok. It was just awful. There was no overarching strategy on all different platforms, because although we don't, you know, we might not use X anymore, or we might not use this particular platform, or, you know, you get someone who's good at each one. You get someone who's good at Threads. You get someone who's good at Twitch, you know, playing video games, talking about politics, and you bring them on board. But they just, I can't tell you just how frustrating it is that Labour have these opportunities to do stuff with people who actually want to help them. And they're like, no. And I'm getting to the point now, I'm just like, okay, you're not a member anymore. Phil's not even a fucking member. I'm thinking of just saying, oh, fuck off then.
I've not been a member since about 3 or 4 months in, because I as a matter of principle, could not fund it. Someone just said here, tell her her son is being ruthlessly friend zoned. in case you're not aware, Graham and I are good friends, and Graham has a partner that he has had for many years.
Gorgeous
who's
partner.
Gorgeous
Who
cat.
has a PhD in physics. So, I'm sorted.
And I fucking don't. So.
And I live in my partner's house. So, sorry, everyone.
There's this interesting thing, right, mate? It's called people being mates. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
There are some people who can't be mates with members of the opposite sex, though, Tan, you know that.
It's often projection because there's sadly not present company excluded. Quite a lot of men can't. I've always been able to be friends with, like when I was younger, the amount of male friends I had that would crack it on, just because I was there and around, but they were like unbelievable nerds. But we're a bit past that. I mean, come on. It's 2025, you dick. Just me and videos. Thank you so much for the super. Have a nice end of year. Let's hope 2026 is better than 2025. I mean, what's ever gone wrong on an even year? And this is where I have the PTSD flashback.
Oh my God, do you have this thing about even years as well?
Yeah,
even years are awful.
COVID, Brexit,
yeah,
everyone
Trump
dying.
winning the election.
Yeah.
Even numbered years.
I mean, the one outlier was obviously Johnson winning in 2019, but that's because they held it at a weird time.
It was almost an even year. We can lump that in with 2020, which was the worst year ever because COVID.
It was late. It was
the
like
second worst year ever, actually, because Bobby couldn't die again.
Yes, obviously. And then there was also, I mean, loads of people that were great died in 2016.
Yeah.
But Bowie was the real clincher. But then you had like the weirdest election ever where they held an election in like fucking December and then Johnson got in and then boom, COVID. And also Brexit was an even year. There's so many bad things that were on an even year. Stephen Merriman, thank you again. Thank you for being a top supporter along with dear Yuri and a number of others this evening. It was a job in a budget store, Graham. I don't know what that's in relation to.
I was saying, what can I do with a budget? Labour or anyone would just give me a budget to go and do something.
I mean, that was so enraging because of all the people. I mean, a bunch of us. I mean, I think that if they'd offered to have paid us, I mean, even though I'd always want to be independent and I'd have been like, I have full control over pretty much what I'm going to be talking about here.
Yeah.
Which they probably wouldn't have given me. But I would have been willing to have done my bit to help them out at that time because it was, Tories out at any cost, at that point. But they missed a trick. They missed a trick with you. You know this shit really well. A bunch of us could have.
I said this to them. I said, you're not just getting me. If you employ me to do this job, you're getting access to all of these influencers, all my mates who make stuff. I mean, access to Phil. Phil's more labour than all of us put together. Do you know what I mean? And he would have made stuff for them. He would have done it for free.
Yeah, he would have done it for free.
I know.
He could afford to. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it was more a case of like if I could afford to, I'd have possibly volunteered. But I wasn't about to give my labour for free to a bunch of twats who are going to pour thousands into a fucking focus group or agency.
We're making a studio, and I was like, why are you making a fucking studio? Why do people go on about making a fucking studio? What's the point? We have this. We can do this. We can broadcast anywhere in the world from our homes. Why do we need a studio? Having a studio just makes the whole thing cost 100 times more than it needs to.
And it's free, man.
Yeah.
It's a relatively cheap way to do things. Yeah. But it was they missed so many tricks. It was a matter of principle for me because I know they've got the budget for it, but they're refusing to put it into something that could really help them. And would also, actually shine a light on what they're doing well. All they're doing at the moment in terms of comms is just shitting on Reform, who are in realistic terms a fucking fringe party. Yeah. And you're missing out on the Labour are achieving some things that are good, but nobody's hearing about them because their entire
Labour won't tell anyone. It's a big secret. It's a state secret, Tan. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell them, Pike.
Don't tell them, Pike. Their entire focus is on a little fringe party.
Yeah.
It's
Chris
so
says,
fucking...
I honestly think Labour have given up. Yeah, it seems that way. Jesus Christ, where's your fire? Where's your passion?
feels like they're Bidening their
Yeah.
time.
Hey,
and
see what you did
they're
there.
going for the one-term bullshit thing, which is going to leave all of us lot in the shit at
In
the
the
end of it.
shit. Right, we're going to have to wrap it up, Tan, because I
We
do
are.
need to
We
get
really
going.
are.
And it is
We really
10
are.
o'clock.
And it's got to a point where my videos got very slightly more reasonable. So
Yeah, no, it's all right now.
yeah, very slightly more reasonable. But no, thank you so much to Mr. Graham Hughes for joining me on this fair evening.
You just got one more
Thank
super
you.
chat.
Oh, for goodness sake, how dare you offer me a super chat, George only. Maybe if we made the good things bad. He's done a little devil thing there, and I don't know what that's in relation to, George. I genuinely don't know, but I don't know if you're being pervy. There's a very pervy tone to this chat this evening, and it's entirely my own fault. I feel like I've accidentally, not entirely on purpose, encouraged this.
Encourage what? Encourage your slow frame rate.
Not my fucking frame
Have you
rate.
upset a Polynesian god again? Tan, how many times do I have to tell you? Don't upset the volcano gods. They'll fuck with your tech.
Wow, you live.
Placate them.
You live and I never learn. So yeah, but no, thank you. It's going fucking nightmarish again. So for those of you that are tuning in, I might have to put this out. I can't put this out as audio only. I'll never get round to it. But thank you for putting up with my talking about lube. Thank you very much to Graham for joining me this evening and also putting up with the aforementioned talking about lube. Thank you to everyone that's dropped a super chat in. I'm so sorry, Graham. I'm so sorry, mate. I really am. And until next time, don't go shagging flags to try to please me. You've never let me down before. Graham, roll
Good night. Just before we go, just want to say, if you do watch the Politics Social channel, I'll be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning with Morning Brew and Aid at the top of my tree and Hans Gruber slowly dropping down the Nakatomi Plaza building here. So until then, thanks
Graham,
for letting me on the show. What?
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. This is the most terrible outro ever. I'm all over the place.
It's okay. I'm ready. I'm ready to do the outro. You just give me the nod and I'll press the button. I, Tan, of relatively sound mind, implore all of you, if you don't already, which you probably do, to go follow Graham's channel, which is Graham Politics. Graham Politics, at Graham Politics. Yeah. At Graham Politics, otherwise known as Politics Social. Till next time. Bye, motherfuckers. Roll VT.
It's the Sunday service with Supertanskiii. Dystopia warning. Doobie doobie doo.